And we're live. Good morning, motherfuckers. How the fuck is everybody doing? I bet some of y'all on the West Coast are like 3:49 in the morning streaming. The fuck are you doing? Well, it's 6:49 here. Good morning. I'm awake. The schedule's been flipped. Yep. Maybe some people will join. Maybe not. We'll see. It is very early. No bullshit. But we got a couple things to talk about as usual. It's definitely time for a smoke. Hey, we got a couple people joining. What the fuck? Good morning, assholes. Damn. Not even a minute in. I got 3 people in this motherfucker at 6 o'clock in the morning. What are y'all doing? Some of y'all are pulling all-nighters. Mitch Shaw, what's up? Why are you up so early? Man, the sleep schedule had to... See, yesterday, this is the funny thing. I tried to go to sleep yesterday at, I think it was 7:30 in the morning, right? 7:30 in the morning. Could not sleep. Tossing and turning. It's daylight, living the vampire life. Could not sleep, so I said, fuck it. I got up, no sleep, started power washing the deck, fucking grinding, moving iron furniture and shit, and trucked it through the whole day. Went to sleep last night at 9:30 in the fucking evening. Woke up like an hour ago. Not like hour and a half ago. So the sleep schedule's been reverted. Now we're on that AM schedule. What's up, IVTech? He says, do it. Do what? Mitchell says, yeah, my sleeping schedule is so jacked up too. Yeah, it gets to the point, man, when you're going to sleep at like 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, unless you're working graveyard shift or something, that shit is not good for you. Not getting no sunlight. I'll be lucky to get, wake up at 5 p.m., get like 3 hours of sunlight. True story. But yeah, fucking so title of the stream says to sell or not to sell. All right, so and you guys have been following for a while, the whole fuel system thing, how I switched pump hangers, I started with the full-blown motorsports one, right? And it was a piece of shit in my opinion. You could get by with it, but it's more for track cars because you can't fucking run it past half tank. If you get under a half tank, you lean out. That's what they told me, which is absurd. Okay. So then I disputed it on PayPal and got my money back. So I basically got that pump hanger for free. So I had it up on Craigslist to sell to somebody. It could be an RSX person. It could be a Honda person, whatever. As long as you have 100 millimeter top, the circle, right? You could take it and modify it for another chassis. So I had it up on Craigslist for $300 because they're 500 brand new. No bites yet. Had about not that much traffic either. About 30, 40 people maybe seen it because it's something kind of weird. You got to search for it like pump hanger, yada, yada, right? So I got a message yesterday. Some dude in Virginia Beach was like, dude, I'll give you $200 for it. I'll come pick it up. I'll drive all the way from Virginia Beach to you, $200. And at first I was kind of like, dude, it says price is firm, like $300, because $300 is a good deal. It's never been, it's been installed, but it's never been used. And plus it's a metal box. Doesn't matter if it's used. It's in good shape, There's nothing wrong with it. But my question is, seeing as I got my money back from that pump hanger transaction. Do I take the 200 or do I wait for possibly 300? Because I haven't got a lot of traffic from it. You know what I mean? I'm thinking I might hit him up and be like, yo, how about 250? I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you do? Because it's basically a free item. If you got your money back from PayPal for it, I already got my money back from it. It's basically free. It's kind of a weird spot because, like, yeah, it's free, but I don't want to give it away for $50 or something like that. But I tried putting it out there with some people, like anyone that's doing a fuel system. You could basically what you could do if you would just extend the arms about that much, probably about that much, maybe 2 inches. You could alleviate that half tank. Anything under half tank is gonna fuel starve. You know what I mean? What's up, Jamal? Be y'all. Go with 250. Yeah, I might hit him up and see if he's down for 250. I'll be like, dude, how about 250 and I'll ship it to you. I think that would be fair because, like, he hit me up on the weekend. Today's Monday. He hit me up Saturday afternoon. So he probably works Monday through Friday, I would assume. What you getting into, Jamal? How's everything going in New Zealand? Oh, fucking Jamal. I fucking tracked down. I was like thinking about music the other day about Mars Volta, right? Mars Volta used to have, when you go to shows, they used to have these screen printed, like, I'm not talking like a poster printed out on a computer printer. I'm talking screen printed, like handmade posters. And they were super trippy, right? They were made by this artist called his name's Jared, but he goes by Mexican Chocolate. And dude, I'm talking like some of the trippiest fucking concert posters I've ever seen. And they used to be taxed out. Like, I think they were, if I remember correctly, like you could buy, there was like 500 of them you could buy. They had one of 500 of the posters. So the first 500 people could get the poster at the show. And they were either like 50, 75 or $100, I think. They were super expensive. It was like a piece of artwork, basically. But like, I tracked down all the shows I've been to of the Mars Volta, like the most memorable ones I could remember, at least. Like, here, let me see. Let me pull up a couple of these. Maybe. There's that one. Let's see. Mitchell said 250 sounds good. You're still coming out way ahead. That's what I'm saying. If I could get him to 250, I feel like 250 would be. I'd be $50 and plus he's driving down here from Virginia Beach. That's like an hour ish drive, something like that. Yeah, like, look at how many Mars Volta shows have you attended? Oh man. Probably about 10. I think about 10. But this is some of the posters. Some of the posters I could find the poster for, because I'm sure I'm blanking out on some of them, but like, basically this is the New Year's Eve show, this green one. And then you got, after that was this bottom right one here. This was a 420 show in Chicago at the Aragon Ballroom. And then this one right here was at Rams Head Live in Baltimore. And then this one over here, this red one right here, this was at the Asheville Civic Center. Dude, all the shows were crazy, right? But that Asheville one, the Asheville Civic Center one, and by the way, I was tripping on LSD at all these shows. just fun fact for you. But the Asheville one is like a fucking vivid in my brain. All of them are pretty vivid, but that one is super vivid because Asheville's like a pretty trippy place. It's like almost like the California of the East Coast, right? Kind of like almost like, flower power, hippy dippy, right? A lot of drug users. Fucking some asshole threw a fucking water bottle at Cedric on stage in the middle of a song. Now, I don't know what would compel some douchebag to ruin the good times, right? I don't understand why. But he did. Threw a fucking water bottle at Cedric while he's in the middle of singing in a song, right? Dude, it was like some warrior shit. Cedric was like, oh, I see how it is. You're a bunch of fucking pussies. You like to throw shit at people trying to entertain you on stage. He's like, you realize you paid us money to come here. He's like, now, if you wanted to be the way you're being right now, why don't you bring your friends and I'll bring my friends and we'll go out in the back fucking alley and settle this like some real men. And so he basically they basically condemn the whole audience as like herd mentality sheep, fucking, some shit like that, right? So then after that happened, they were in like the middle of this crazy fucking 20-minute jam of a song, going crazy, ham wild, awesome, improvising, super fucking badass show, right? They then stop the song, he gets hit, they stop the song, the jam, and they just go to the most radio friendly, their most popular song, The Widow, and play it to a T. I'm talking play it just like it sounds on the radio, which is not what they like to do, right? They like to the album is the album and the live performance is the live performance. You know what I mean? They like to leave it for pockets of trying to improvise and make it unique and shit, So they just played it like it sounds on the radio, and then the fucking curtain drops. Show's done after it was about 25 minutes. 25 minutes in. Now, you guys that have ever seen the Mars Volta, you know that they put on like a minimum of a 2.5 hour show. So everyone was like, what? It's over? It was fucking crazy. I'll never forget that shit. You could see the anger in this man's face. He was so fucking mad. Fuck this. We're not even entertaining these people. Fuck them. It was pretty amazing. It sucked, but at the same time, it was amazing to observe that, yeah, I'm with you. Fuck it. 25 minutes. I'm fine with that, man, because proved the point that this audience fucking sucks. Or at least one guy in the audience fucking sucks. The poster artwork is great. Hate when idiots throw shit at the band. Cedric's an OG. Dude, it was such an OG move. I'll never forget that shit. I wish there was footage of it. I really do. I wish back then. That's that was back in 2008, right? I wish people, fucking filmed like they did now, because shit now is not that interesting. You know what I mean? Going and see on a live music show nowadays is it's lost its edge. The only at the drive-in concert I saw was also cut short because of douchebags in the audience. Sydney 2001. Damn, that's back. That's 19 years ago. That's crazy. That's definitely crazy. Was that at Big Day Out or whatever? I think I've seen footage of that. Yeah, I kind of get the vibe that Cedric and Omar Mars Volta, they really don't like performing in Australia. They really don't like it. Big day out should be big dick out, big douche out. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I think I've seen that. Yeah, they're playing one. I think they played Big Day Out at in Australia as Mars Volta, and fucking audience was being, the way they're being in Australia. I don't know. I don't know what it is about Australian and music fucking shows and festivals and stuff, but basically they got into some like, they didn't like the way the fucking, I think it was like the fucking he said something they didn't like, so like majority of the crowd's just giving them this, like, you know, and he's like, look, you learned that from the TV. He's like, you didn't learn that from your best friend. You didn't learn that from your father. He's like, you learned that from TV. He's like, what a bunch of sheep. Bad. And then Omar's like, we were going to play this one song, but we're just going to play this new song, and it's called Abortion, the Other White Meat. Oh my God, classic. Man, that sums up punk rock. You think of punk rock. Most people think of punk rock, they think of like, oh, the Ramones, the Dead Kennedys, some shit like that, right? Bunch of motherfuckers in black leather jackets with studs on and shit, playing power chords. Nah, that's like uniform, like rubric, trying to be punk, right? In my opinion, Mars Volta's punk. Fucking Miles Davis is punk. Fucking The Doors are punk. Fucking Jerry Lee Lewis, punk. Little Richard, punk. You wouldn't think that, right? But like punk is if you think about it, punk is a mentality. You know what I mean? That's what punk truly is. Jamal says, saw Mars Volta in Auckland 2006, one of the best shows I've ever seen. Yeah, and see, that's in New Zealand. I'm sure that fared out better because it's not Australia. Yeah, I don't know if they just happen to get bad luck with, playing these festivals, these shows in Australia, and it's just luck of the draw, like just doesn't jive well, or if, other bands have kind of experienced that too. So I mean, Australian people seem pretty cool, as cool as any other place on the planet, But it goes to show, like, let's say, like, you go to Australia for Grand Prix versus going to a music festival, it might be completely different, But yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll probably try to message that guy, be like, look, man, I'll work with you on the price some. How about 250? Jamal says the Aussie music festivals are full of drunk idiots, to be honest. Oh, I could see it. That's music, dude. That's like amplification. Like music festivals here, music shows, music festivals, there's always one drunk asshole. There's always one. There's either one, well, there's more than one drunk asshole, but there's always that one drunk asshole that takes it over the line. And at music festivals, there's always that person that gets too fucked up on drugs, taking too much acid, taking too much ecstasy, taking fucking snorting coke and fucking smoking opium and fucking huffing too much nitrous and freaks out in the crowd and collapses and fucking has to get carried out on a stretcher. It's always that. Always fucking happens. I've seen it firsthand. I remember one time I was at Bonnaroo, and Bonnaroo, you should definitely, if you've never been to Bonnaroo, experience it so you can see like what it is firsthand. Bonnaroo is a really shitty music festival. It's corporate, it's massive, it's oversized. It's a fucking like it's like a labyrinth, you know, it's like a fucking maze for like little rats. And there's too many people there. And the facilities suck and the bands don't get the sound check properly and it's a musician's worst nightmare. But if you're a drug user or a drug dealer, it's like a heaven. You could make so much money at Bonnaroo. I would say, depending on how many drugs you bring, you could make 6 figures in a weekend. I'm talking at least $100,000 in a weekend. I'm not even kidding. How crazy is that, guys? Depending on how much drugs you bring, if you brought enough drugs, you could probably make low 6 figures. Like, that's insane. Because I saw it firsthand. There's motherfuckers. It's like Woodstock, but not with good bands. I mean, there's some good music there, but a lot of it's just bands now, man. I don't know. It's hard to put into words, guys. Bands nowadays are not like the bands of the past. Even the good ones. We're living in weird times. But yeah, Jamal says that's pretty crazy. Dude, it's crazy to think about. Some people don't even make 50 grand a year working every day, Monday through Friday, 8, 10, 12-hour shifts. You'd be lucky to clear 50 grand after taxes, you know, working stiffs, shit like that. I mean, some people do well for themselves, you know, there's some people out there making 100 grand a year, but they gotta work fucking 40, at least 40 weeks out of the year, 40, 50 weeks out of the year. Yeah. Might get 2 weeks vacation if you're lucky. So think about making that in a weekend. 100 grand in a weekend. That's absurd. And it's because people will pay fucking ridiculous amounts of money for drugs at these festivals because like they either come there with their drugs already and they hope to get them past security, or you know, they buy them inside. Some people don't know how to get shit, you know. But yeah, I think my plan on a non-musical note, sorry, we're geeking out on music. I could talk about music forever, guys. Music and musical culture and shows and fucking drug culture and fucking fused with music. Like before cars, that used to be my fucking life, you know? Playing music, going to see my favorite bands, and seeing some crazy shit. But on a side note, car note, I think I'll sell if I can get that guy to buy it for $250. I'll sell it to him for $250, and that means I've got $250 and I got a couple $100 in my bank account because I've been tapped out. The sales have not been going good on music equipment. They were going good. Last month was great. We made $1,300 off 3 items, which is pretty phenomenal. This week's been slow. This month's been slow. So we'll have like $450. I think I'll bite the bullet and I'll probably buy that anti-gravity battery, which is completely to a degree unnecessary, but I don't know. It seems pretty badass having the restart feature. The battery will never go dead. The motherfucking weight savings is really what I want to do it for. And I've looked up the cannon fodder. You know, people say like, dude, these fucking dry cell lithium batteries, they can explode. The lower tier ones can explode. The fucking restart ones that have the jump box, you know, basically built into it, they have this fail-safe feature in it that will not let it explode. Basically, it does something inside that will not let it explode. Jamal says, I don't like the idea of slaving the 9 to 5 grind for minimal money and making the greedy corporations richer. For sure, man. You know, I don't disagree with that at all. It's a figure eight. It's like you don't want to slave away on the 9 to 5, making a third of what fucking fuck that, like a tenth of what you should make. You guys want to know a crazy figure? See, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. We're getting real deep. If money, let's say all the wealth in the world, let's say you got all the poor people, you got the rich people, the middle class, everybody. If you took everyone's money and put it in one big pot, right? Okay, imagine that. And then you gave everyone equal amounts of money. You know, everyone was an equal. There was no more rich people, poor people, any caste system of finance. Do you know how much everyone would make per year? Every household would make $700,000 a year. Just think about that. Let it sink in for a second. $700,000 per household per fucking year. Do you know how well off this world would be? All these fucking billionaires, millionaires, like, and we're not talking like $1 million a year. We're talking like there's some motherfuckers out there that make $300 million a year or billions of dollars a year. That's insane. Jamal says 700K, they're being into pot. That's what I'm saying. $700,000 a year. This world would be like fucking harmony. Because you think about like traditional kind of like socialism, like everyone's equal, or like, we all make the same amount of money. It sounds like fucked. Because you're like, well, this guy's not doing shit. He makes 22 grand a year. I make 200 grand a year. Why should we make the same? We're not working the same. I completely agree with that. But imagine just everyone in the world, billionaires included, 700 grand a year for everybody per year. Dude, that would be insane. That would be amazing. I think that would literally be the definition of harmony. Nobody would have one problem in the world. There'd be nothing. It would be harmony. This fucking world, we would be like, if you had 700 grand, there would be no economy anymore. Basically, everybody would just be like, hey, there'd still be an economy. There'd still be capitalism to a degree, but capitalism and the economy would be like so much different. So much different. For real, though. But yeah, somebody broke down that figure, some financial person or something like that, and I was like, yo, that is a mind fuck. Jamal says, I've got to admit, the wealth balance in America is way off balance. Bro, you ain't lying. Like, we are one of the richest countries in the world, one of the most power-hungry countries in the world. And you, like, if you look at, like, let's say the medical system, right? Like, healthcare system. We have one of the most expensive healthcare systems in the world, right? It's completely overpriced. Do you want to know what our healthcare system's quality is? It's like number 38 or something. It's like, doesn't even fucking make the top 10, but it's literally the most expensive healthcare in the world, right? So it's easily in the top 5 expensive, but quality, it's like number 29 or 38, or I forgot what it is. That fucker don't even crack the top 10. That's insane. Mind blowing. I bet, dude, Jamal, I bet whoever the other people are in here, they're probably like, what the fuck is going on this morning? He's talking about drugs and crazy rock shows. And Everyone needs $700,000 a year. My bad, guys. We're getting deep. Where does all the healthcare money go? Into the CEO's back pocket for mansion upgrade? Oh, for sure. Like next time. Well, I'm not saying next time. Like I hope y'all go, but if any of y'all are in the hospital next time, right? Let's say you break your arm, you fucking have a heart attack or whatever happens, right? You got to get your fucking tonsils out. I don't fucking know. Whatever happens. Next time you're in the hospital and you get a hospital bill, look at the hospital bill breakdown. Let's say your hospital bill costs $7,000, $17,000, $38,000, whatever the fuck it costs, right? Look at what costs what. They gave me, I went to the hospital. I went to the hospital because I got horrible food poisoning, right? I'm talking like on the verge of death food poisoning. I lost 15 pounds in 1 week, couldn't hold down liquid, shitting my guts out, shitting blood, right? Horrible stuff. And not to be too graphic. Fucking, I went to the hospital and I got a CAT scan and I got some fluids for the CAT scan that make your insides like, glow in the dark or some shit, whatever the radiant, whatever the word is. They literally give you that dye and then they give you like a ginger ale to drink, chase it down with. And I couldn't hold down liquid. So I threw up the dye in the ginger ale and they had to do it again. They charge you $22 for a can of ginger ale. I'm not bullshitting. $1 can. A fucking can of ginger ale, if you bought a 12-pack, it'd be like, what, 40 or 50 cents, maybe? 75 cents tops. Okay. They charge you $22 for a can of ginger ale. Fucking Canadian dry ginger ale. That is just sums it up. They take 75 cents and they turn it into $22. Do you know what kind of scumfuckery that is? That is insane. Insane. They'll charge you like, let's say you get some aspirin or some ibuprofen or something. They'll charge you like $60 for 2 fucking ibuprofen. Like, it's not right. And not to mention the CAT scan costs like $8,000. Absurd. Mitchell says, I'm just listening. About to pass out. Damn, so you haven't gone to sleep. That's crazy. Jamal says, daylight robbery. Fraud, actually. Somewhere in the fine print of the shit you sign, it basically says, you here consent to getting fucked by us. But in a really nice, literary wording, so you can't recognize it. Items may be appropriated to the appropriate profit margin of us, aka we take 60-cent fucking ginger ales and mark them up fucking $21. Absurd. But yeah, fucking once I get the rest of the money for the battery, we'll throw that in. We'll install that. It's so expensive. The fact that I'm entertaining the notion of buying a $600 battery is pretty absurd. But hopefully it'll be the last battery I ever have to buy, which will be nice. And once we get that done, I'll fucking save up the other money for the tune. And I think I'm gonna try to. I was thinking about going to National Speed. I don't know enough about them. I know Matt Shue is bulletproof. I know that dude is legit. And that's why he's backed up. He tunes so much shit. And I was kind of like putting National Speed ahead of him because they're available, right? Just because somebody's available doesn't make him the best candidate, you know? Because I think the way it works with Matt Shue is he doesn't answer the phone unless you make a deposit. Because he has a fucking thing on his site that says if you want to book your tuning appointment, deposit $50 down and we will get back to you. You know, we'll tell you your appointment date type shit, which makes sense because I'm sure he gets bombarded with questions like, hey, bro, so like, I want to get tuned by you, but like, I need to know this and this and this and this. Talk is cheap, you know? Jamal says even in New Zealand, it's getting difficult to find reliable people to work on cars or anything. Yeah. Well, it's like nowadays, man, you gotta worry about the credibility of people. It's like you see how these corporations do people and the healthcare system does people. And then you think like, oh, this is like an average Joe. This is like one guy. He's not a corporation. He's a mom and pop shop or something. He'll treat me right. Now, let's say he has treated people right, but then something in the status quo changes, so his integrity is compromised. Like, let's say the times we're living in is making people fragile. It's making them vulnerable. It's making them unreliable because who knows what's going to happen next, right? So fucking prime example, like Chris, he paid his this mechanic that's worked on his girlfriend's diesel vans before for her business. And he's known him for a couple years. He's worked on the diesel vans, and you know he vouched for him. You know, like he's like, hey, the guy's credible. He does good work on the diesel vans. Like working on a K series 4-cylinder should be no changing a clutch ain't shit, right? So the dude quotes him like $400 or whatever it was to change the clutch and the flywheel. So Chris, since he's known him for a while, paid him up front. And the dude comes over and he starts doing the work. He, drops the subframe. He starts taking out the axles and the rotor and the, knuckle and stuff like that. Breaks one of the ABS sensors. Forgot to disconnect it from the back of the hub assembly. And fucking breaks a $200 sensor. And then proceeds to be like, oh, one of your sensors is broken. I gotta replace that. And he's like, well, it wasn't broken. He's like, oh, okay, no problem. I'm gonna run to the parts store and get it. Proceeds to run with his money and never come back. Somebody he's known for a couple years that's like done work, good work. Dude, like what the fuck is up with people? Luckily, Chris paid him through PayPal and was able to get his money back. So he was only out an ABS sensor, which still sucks. It's like $170, but it's better than getting completely burned, Jamal says mechanics have been deliberately fucking up people's cars to make some extra money out of people. Dude, they do that here too. Don't take your car to Jiffy Lube. Don't take it to the dealership. Don't take it. You need to have a family mechanic, somebody that you trust. I'm talking like trust like with your life. Because these big top places like, Jiffy Lube or Meineke or fucking fucking dealerships and stuff, they'll create problems. Oh, yeah, you need a new cabin filter, you need a new air filter, you need tie rods, you need fucking ball joints. The car only has 28,000 miles on it. What are you talking about? What's up, Cam? Not all mechanics. A lot of them, man. Not all mechanics, but I'm telling you, man, in America, it's a big thing. They've done news stories on it. when they'll take, this is the funny thing. Let's say a woman takes a car into a shop. There was like, and you know, you could go either way, you know, but a woman took this Honda and they took it to a legitimate mechanic, and he said, yeah, you just need an oil change, and you could use some new tires, but they'll still pass inspection, so you don't technically need them. So then she took it to 4 shops, and this one shop was like, you know, said exactly what the real mechanic said, you know, that was accurately diagnosing the car. The other 3 were like, no, your tires won't pass inspection. You need new pads. You need new rotors. Your tie rods are shot. You're gonna need an air filter, a cabin filter. Your muffler, your catalytic converter won't pass smog and all this shit. All 3 of the other shops said that. How fucking crazy is that? Kurt, on my way to work, working in the kimchi fields. Jamal says not a lot though. Oh yeah, there's a lot of dodgy cunts out there. Indeed. But yeah, it's just crazy the amount of crazy shit going on, like with businesses and stuff. Like Full Blown Motorsports, that one really floored me. And look, I got my money back, but like I can't imagine them selling too many of those dual pump hangers, and they do. That's the craziest part. People have no quality control. They don't know what like real quality is. They're like, it's good enough. Yeah, I can only run my tank to halfway, and then I got to fill up. But like I'm race car, so like that comes with the territory. Nah, you should be able to run your tank to empty. And like it goes to show with the spring-loaded AMG one, you know, I've ran the car to empty with like a gallon and a half of gas in there. Yeah, you shouldn't be driving at fucking wide open throttle around corners. It'll burp, it'll get air bubbles, but it can still run with perfectly good cruising AFRs. And I think if we I think to a degree, if you changed it out for longer springs to like make it sit down just like a cunt hair more, probably wouldn't even have that issue. Or it might not even I don't even think it's a height issue. I think it's just that it doesn't have an enclosure. It doesn't have a box like a swirl pot. Now. Yeah, that one. You've had a bad run with people / car businesses lately. Car businesses, you would think you'd be like, oh man, you've had a bad run with car people or car like businesses for car parts. And then you say like people. I think the people lately, man, like personal friendships or what you think is a friendship, whether it's somebody that's been around the channel for a couple months, right? Or all the way up to going 5-10 years. You know, I literally don't have any friends I hang out with in person. They've all flaked out. Isn't that crazy? Whether it's music cats, car cats, you know, whatever, people I used to skate with, people are unreliable. I think the only person I hang out with in person is probably Christian when he comes to town once a year. Isn't that fucking trippy? think the only people I hang out with is either family or if I'm at a job. You know, that's it. That fuel pump hanger was a bad one. Their attitude over the phone was terrible. Oh man, their fucking attitude. Their attitude over the phone was hilarious. That was laughable. Literally. Cam says, I worked out how I'm going to extend my pump hanger. What, are you just going to extend the arms, or what do you think you're going to do? Man, if I were you, I would make it spring loaded. I would make it spring loaded. I would basically mimic. You should mimic the AMG one, the design of that one. But you got the box, so you'd be better off than me, honestly. But it's more work to it. But you know. I think the box, Cam, the box is kind of like, how would I describe it? It's kind of like a double-edged sword because you don't like it works like a swirl pot to a degree. Let's say the box, has that grate. See, you had the right idea about drilling holes in it, small, tiny little pinhole type holes, size holes. So on the sides. But if you didn't have those holes, imagine you got the grate in the top like a sewer. Once the fuel is below that grate or even below the holes, no fuel is getting to the pump inside that enclosed box, So that's kind of fuckery. Honda Vlogs is an OG. Oh, for sure. He's definitely somebody that's like, I personally don't believe Honda community, Honda scene. But if there was a Honda community, I would truly say that Christian is probably the only person who's making an effort to preserve it, which is crazy. That's a lot for one man. I'm not saying there's not some cats out there. I enjoy watching Dana, like watching, occasionally I'll watch like, not so much anymore, but back in the day I'd watch Mark from Honda Street Garage or Adam Ivel, or I used to watch La Tommy Law. I've gotten to the point where it's just Fortnite skins. He's just changing parts. That's it. But I'll still admit, like, Tommy's build is impressive for sure. I just wish he would stick with something and have more track videos or have, more diversity in his video content, because it's all just, hey guys, I got a Mugen bumper. Hey guys, I got a J-Blood bumper. Hey guys, I got a CE28s. I got 17 different sets of TE37s. It's like, to a degree, it's like, man, what the fuck? Cam says where the arms bolt onto the base part, I'll use longer bolts and use springs to make up the space. Well, there's an idea. But that's gonna make it a bitch to install. You know that, right? I would think that's gonna make it even more difficult with, well, if you have one threaded and you turn it and do the fucking dance into the tank, still, that's going to be a bitch. Like, I feel like if you could make that, if you could get somebody that welds real good, just fabricate you a swivel. Like, you got the arm, you got the box, just make it so that bitch can go like 180 degrees or like 150. Man, that would make it so much fucking more seamless for installing. And if you got to uninstall, Matt, dude, imagine if you have a pump that goes bad, like a fuel pump that goes bad, or I don't know, the fucking filter sock comes off or some crazy shit. I don't know. It's gonna make it a nightmare. But that's not a bad idea if you don't mind fighting with the rigid, fucking horrible box design. Man, I still can't believe those motherfuckers direct drop in. What is their definition of direct drop in? That's what I want to know. Direct drop in if you completely disassemble it. That's some funny shit right there. Jamal, fucking, you said you record some music. You should send me that shit. I'm trying to check that shit out, man. You can get a fucking a Mediafire account or a Dropbox or whatever, and upload it there, and just send me the link. Jamal says wife's Honda Fit has a fucking leak. Spare tire well was full of water. Oh man, that's the worst. I wouldn't wish a water leak on my worst enemy. Well, maybe some of them, but for real though, fucking sucks. Seeing as it's a newer, I don't know what year fit it is, but I would think it's either a taillight gasket that needs to be replaced, or both of them, or it's seam sealer somewhere. I gotta say, Honda, they really got their engines right. Transmissions almost right. Some of them have some fuck issues, but the engines they got right. Okay. Then they were just like, you know what, seam sealer? Who needs seam sealer? Proper seam sealer. Like water leaks, I mean, Integras, DC5s, fucking Civics, fucking Fits. Seems like a lot of people get plagued by water leaks in the back. And it's usually not in the front either. Like some people have water leaks in certain Hondas, and they're like, yeah, my front carpet's wet. If your front carpet's wet, it's the sunroof drain tube valves. They're clogged, which makes sense. Get a fucking air compressor or a coat hanger and fucking unclog that shit, I mean, honestly, that's one thing I'm really thankful for with all the water leak issues I've had over the years. They've never been in the front. I've never once had a fucking front water leak in the car, wet carpet or sunroof leaking or anything like that. Jamal, what year's your wife's Honda Fit? Is it a GK5? Oh, also 2004. Fucking also those posters I was showing you, right? So obviously those shows don't exist anymore. They happen. There's 500 of those posters out there. Dude, those posters are fucking money. Some of them are like, you get one, maybe somebody's selling one for like 60, 70 bucks. Most of them are 100. Some of them are $250. I looked up some of them, and there's hundreds of them. Mars Volta played probably 1,000 shows. I don't even know. But dude, there's some people out there wanting money for them. Like the Aragon Ballroom 420 show in Chicago I went to. I found that poster. That show poster, screen printed. It's not printed out, guys. Like, you think about that, like it's screen printed. There was only 500 of them made. They want $150 for that motherfucker, which is crazy for a piece of paper. Like, regardless if it's screen printed or it's computer printed, that's just crazy. Crazy. Oh, also, fucking, when I went to go get I re-upped on tobacco, I asked them, I was like, hey, you guys have, like, your cigar boxes for display for the single cigars, right? When you don't sell a whole box. I was like, what do you do with them when you, you run out of them? I'm sure y'all have a shitload of them. What do y'all do with them? Do y'all throw them away, or do you sell them, or what do you do? And he was like, well, look down there. And what I thought was the shelf was nothing but cigar boxes. It looked like Jenga. I was like, oh shit. I was like, do you think I could have one of these? I was like, just like, souvenir. Because I'm spending $50 for a pound of tobacco. He's like, yeah, man, pick one out. You can have it. He's like, sometimes we sell them to people if they want them, like a bunch of them for cigar storage or, just for fun, keep shit in. Because some people make pedals out of the box, the enclosure, which is pretty cool idea. So there was hundreds of them. There's probably at least a couple hundred of them. And I was looking at them. They all kind of look the same. A couple of them look different finishes and shit like that. So I see one that caught my eye, and it's in the middle at the bottom. So I had to play Jenga with the motherfucker, hold up 10 of them, slide it out, right? And I couldn't see anything on the box, right? I couldn't see one thing on the box. It just looked like a nice finish. It had a little clasp lock on it. So I picked this bitch out, and look what it was. Motherfucking Hemingway. Like, how weird is that? Like, this is a pretty fucking nice box, honestly. Like, I pulled it out, and I was like, oh, shit. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, and I looked at him, I go, this is the one I picked out. I picked it out by random because it looked nice. The finish is nice. I was like, what's this all about? He's like, that's a really rare box, actually. He's like, you don't see that box very often. I was like, damn. I was like, it was meant to be. Because all I picked it out by was I liked the finish and the clear on it, the varnish or whatever. And it had this little clasp on it. That's the only reason I picked it. Couldn't see anything else about it, right? So I opened this bitch up. This bitch, it's got a little velvet lining and pretty gangster. I mean, these fucking cigars go for $11 a piece. And this box, if it was filled with cigars, would be $250. Like, what the fuck? So that's kind of a neat trinket. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, what I'll put in it. I wish I still smoked weed. I'd put my weed in it. But yeah, like, I don't know. When I saw Hemingway on it, I was like, yo, what the fuck? That shit might as well have said Hunter S. Thompson or Charles Bukowski on it. What the fuck? The OG poet. Dude, imagine how much your Mars Volta record collection will be worth in 10, 20. See, and that's why I'm already retiring the idea of selling my records. Can't do it. In 10 or 20 years, man, I'll be rich. Seriously. Jamal says, tomorrow, I'm going to transfer some of your drum tracks onto my recording machine and begin to lay down some guitar and bass tracks. Fucking gangster. So you're trying to take some drum tracks and make some shit happen. I'll be looking forward to seeing how that sounds, because this is the funniest part, Jamal. I don't even remember what drum tracks I sent you. I'm not even lying. Did the drum tracks have a name? That's fucking crazy to think. I've recorded so much music in my life. Dude, I used to give out drum tracks and stems and guitar tracks and stuff to people like fucking hotcakes. Like, it's like fucking rabbits having babies. There's 100 of them. When they're ready, we'll email you the wave files. That'd be gangster, dude. And, we can fucking keep it going back and forth, like either, like reworking it or adding to it. Like I gave you drums, then you added guitar and bass, and then I listened to it and I'm like, oh, we could add some more like trippy noise sounds or something like that. Dude, I don't even remember what drums I sent you. That's the funniest part. Hopefully they were good. Yeah, once it cools down in the attic, I think I'm gonna try out this this Blue Yeti mic and fucking whatchamacallit, try it out on the acoustic kit, see if it can capture the acoustic kit really decent. That'd be nice. Totally bounce ideas around. Never know. Could collaborate some interesting music. Oh, it's happened before, man. Just because you're not in the same room, that's nothing. Like obviously, I'd say that's ideal. If you're a musician and you want to play with another musician, you dream, you hope, you'd expect to be at the same location at the same time, so you can verbally express ideas or be like, hey, play in 5/8, or oh, let's play this thing, or some shit like that. But you don't have to be in the same room. That's the craziest part. Like, you could convey that thought, that idea over computer, over typing, over watching a live stream or some shit like that. Like, we're humans, man. We're fucking smart. I'd say being in the same room at the same time just makes things more convenient. It's a comfort. It's like, oh, you're here, so I can tell you something and you don't got to wait 5 seconds to hear through the latency of a stream, or me type it or text it to you or email it to you. That's all it is. With technology these days, anything's possible. Oh, for sure. That's the one thing I do like about technology. When you use it properly and for good, uh, benevolent, I guess that'd be the right word. Getting fancy vocabulary. Benevolent causes, not fucking TikTok and Twitter and fucking bullshit. If any of you guys out there TikTok, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan. I really hope nobody watching this stream or any of my subscribers TikTok. Like, why? That's all I gotta say. The fuck are you doing on there? Like, most people would be completely outraged. Like, the president's trying to ban TikTok, Chinese-owned company, all this bullshit, right? I could care less. Good for him. Fuck TikTok. TikTok, if you look at like, dude, guys, rewind a couple hundred years. People were about candlelight, writing beautiful poetry, writing beautiful fucking music, working hard, chopping firewood, making handmade clothes, and all this crazy shit, right? Hard working. Dude, living life a couple hundred years ago fucking sucked. Right? But it was hard working. They didn't know any different, right? And look at something like TikTok now. Am I wrong? You have people who are a living meme, basically. That's what it comes down to. It's no effort. There's no talent. There's no integrity. There's no artistic value. There's nothing about it that's good. It's fucking stupid. Prove me wrong. Fight me. Jamal says TikTok. It's TikTok. It's like, I thought Twitter was bad enough, man. I really did. I thought, okay, I remember when Facebook came out in high school, people started getting Facebooks. Anthony Shades, are you gonna get are you gonna make a Facebook? I'm like, fuck your fake book. The fuck do I need that for? We're right here. We're talking right here. I have AOL Instant Messenger. You wanna talk on there? You wanna be on social media? That was social media back then. That was AOL Instant Messenger, AIM. Any of you guys are on that dial-up life, that 90s, early 2000s shit. That was good enough. You wanted to talk to your friend, you wanted to send a fucking little emoji or a picture. That was it. And then fucking Facebook came out. And like nowadays, like I don't really care about Facebook. I think Facebook still sucks, but like, it's almost degraded to AOL Instant Messenger. I use it just like I used AOL Instant Messenger basically. It's a more advanced AOL Instant Messenger, right? Oh, Cam's all the way in Australia. Well, if I want to send this link of this car or some titty gif or some shit like that, I can send it to him there. It's like AIM. So it has merit to a degree, but if it didn't exist, I'd still be using AOL Instant Messenger, But then, take Twitter, for example. Never had a Twitter, never desired a Twitter, never wanted a Twitter, never am going to get a Twitter. Instagram, I can make an exception for. I used to make fun of Instagram too, because it just seemed like the picture form of Twitter, right? But it all depends on what you're using it for. Now, if you're going to follow anybody and everybody, every friend you have on Facebook and Twitter and all your social contacts, it's going to be a clusterfuck. It's going to be a picture form of Twitter. People are going to be posting pictures of their kids, the plate of food they ate, some flowers, a soccer ball, some shit like that, right? I have a rule. I only follow musicians, artists, or car people. Those are the only exceptions, and the occasional big tittied woman, right? Gotta keep the diversity. I basically want to see music equipment or people playing shows, a car, a fucking painting, and some tits. That's it. That's the cycle count. Jamal says Twitter, Tweety Bird, drama queens. That sums it up. I farted today. Bay looks so good. This shit is lit. That's Twitter in a nutshell. Can't get down with it, guys. But yeah, like back to the TikTok banning thing or whatever. I think it's a good thing. I really do. You could look at it like, oh my God, they're taking away our freedom of speech, or they're taking away our freedom of expression. There's no artistic merit. There's what expression, what speech? All these fucking TikTokers, they're going to run out of a platform, right? They're going to come over to YouTube and they're going to get ate up. Everyone's going to laugh at them. Seriously. They're going to try to be influencers. That's what these people are called nowadays. Influencers. That has got to be the funniest shit I've ever heard. Jimi Hendrix is an influencer. Fucking Jim Morrison, fucking Kurt Cobain, fucking Janis Joplin, fucking Jean-Michel Basquiat, Ernest Hemingway, Bukowski, Hunter S. Thompson, fucking Vincent Van Gogh, Omar, fucking Deerhoof. Those are influencers. You make TikToks. Who the fuck are you influencing? You're influencing other stupid kids to make stupid TikToks. It's so silly. If TikTok didn't exist, we wouldn't have fucking Belle Delphine. We wouldn't have fucking OK Boomer Girl and Lil Tay and all this shit. It's laughable. It's literally laughable, guys. Jamal says, dude, that's the truth. Jimi Hendrix, that's what I'm saying. That's real influence. Like, oh my God. You want to know when you've heard some good music, guys? If you're a musician, right? Let's say you're a musician, you're a drummer, you're a guitar player, say a guitar player. When you listen to somebody's music and it instantly makes you want to pick up your instrument and fucking jam, that's how you know you're listening to an influencer, somebody that's amazing, somebody that's influential, a visionary, fucking fire, the true meaning of fire. A lot of kids now say lit and fire. I was saying fire fucking 15 years ago. That's money. That's fire. Seriously. Nowadays, kids say fire, and it's like they could have ripped a fart. Bro, that's fire. That kimchi, it's fire. Seriously. Fire means nothing now. Anything could be fire now. It's so fucking stupid. You could speaking of Jimi Hendrix, you could take it back 50 plus fucking years. There's a song called Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire. What do you think that's about? But yeah, getting kind of deep this morning, guys. Little morning philosophy for you guys. Keep in mind. Take it if you will. I wake up in the morning and my fucking brain's on point. It is turned on. I have my couple cups of coffee, couple smokes, and it's like, it's time for philosophy class, kids. What are we going to learn today? Jamal says, appreciate the real talk. Always try to keep it real, man. Whether we're talking about cars, we're talking about music, we're talking about life advice, whatever, right? Try to keep it real always. I would like you guys to know, if you met me in person, this would be the exact same fucking person you would meet off camera, you know? On a side note, back to car talk, I have a video has surfaced. A certain YouTuber, who I will not mention, had his first track day. And I got to say, I'm not impressed whatsoever. And I'm not bashing anybody that's new to getting on a track. I've never been on a track. Never been on a track, guys. I repeat, never been on a track. Never been on a circuit track. Never been on a legitimate drag strip. Never done autocross, etc. But let me tell you, motherfucker can't drive. God damn. And the reason I stress this, is because this certain YouTuber has more sponsorships and free shit given to him than probably any fucking YouTuber I've ever seen. And he seems to take it for granted. So I find that to be a double-edged sword. I find that hilarious. This motherfucker was understeering around corners going 40 or 50 miles an hour. I'm like, what's going on here? You shouldn't be understeering. What's happening? Too much fucking hand movement. That's one thing somebody brought up. I saw a comment. Somebody was like, dude, you're moving your fucking hands too much. If you should have your hands planted, right? If you think about it, if you're going through cones, you're going around a turn, you want to be like that, right? You don't want to have hand movements that are like you're a fucking mime or something like that, you know? You want to ease into the turns. You want to, anytime you're moving your steering wheel or you're like, you know, turning high speed, medium speed, whatever, the car is going to have more smooth motion. It's going to do it more smoothly when you control it more smoothly. If you jerk the wheel, the car is going to get unstable. You know what I mean? So Yeah, watching that footage made me pretty much fucking cry inside. I was like, oh my God. I was like, all the sponsorships and free shit you have in that car. And literally, it's, I'm not going to say being put to waste, but it is. It's kind of like a catch 22. I don't want to say, like, I don't want to discourage somebody from getting back on the track or not working at it, but it's like, dude, how how the fuck are people getting these sponsorships where they get like, free Hassport mounts, free radiator, free this, free that, free wheels, free this, free that, and you haven't even proven yourself, you know? Jamal says 6 viewers. Come on, interact. Hey, I feel you on that. It's kind of odd that you're the only person talking. There's 6 people in here. Kind of strange, but at this point, I take it with a grain of salt. I'm used to it. I'll almost always see between 2 or 4 people in here right off the rip, and there's like one person talking. I think a lot of people put on a stream like almost like a podcast, and they forget that it's live and they can interact. You know what I mean? They forget like, oh shit, this is a live stream. Like I could talk, but I don't got anything to talk. They just want to sit and like I know Mitch Shaw, he said he was in here, but he's like not even fucking he's not waking up. He's about to go to sleep. So he's probably in the back. He's got this shit on the fucking TV or something chilling. Mitch Shaw, if you're listening, blink once if you can hear us. This man Honda Man VTech, if you're listening, if you're here, Honda Man VTech, can you stop sending me so many fucking links? Jesus. Like this man hardly ever comes to stream anymore, but I'm friends with him on Facebook and he sends me like fucking 5 links a day of random shit. Stop sending links, just come to the live stream, shoot the shit. How about that? But yeah, hopefully with getting the battery next, right? New battery. Let's get this voltage shit under control. Hopefully everything will be fine with that. I think that's really what it is. I think any guys that are thinking about the Odyssey batteries, I'd stay away from them, honestly. They're fine. They'll crank the car, but it's gonna wear out. And they're not that lightweight. I mean, yeah, they're lighter than a traditional battery, right? Stock battery, or going to Napa or Advance or somewhere and getting a battery. But I'd say if I could do it again, I would either keep the stock battery, just keep the stock battery, a stock traditional lead acid battery, and you could relocate it in the bumper or the trunk and vent it or whatever you want to do. Or I would go with the anti-gravity battery, the restart one, like I'm gonna do. Either one or the other, no middle ground, basically, New battery sounds good. $600 worth of shit. I fucking hope so, man. It has a pretty hefty warranty, and it's got a bunch of fail-safe technology in it, so it's not going to catch on fire. The lithium battery, it's not gonna blow up. I refuse. If that bitch blows up, dude, mark my words, guys. If that bitch blows up, I'm cashing out. Seriously. Just imagine you're driving, you're fucking ripping it, and all of a sudden you see fucking smoke just coming it's in the back of the fucking hatch, and you just smelling lithium smoke. Oh man. I'll be the first motherfucker to be like, all right, we're done. We're getting a Prius. But yeah, all the videos I've seen of these lithium batteries exploding, especially the anti-gravity ones, they had something wrong with them. They had to. And not to mention they were the cheaper ones. See, you got to think every time a company comes out with a new version of a product, it's made better. So like you got the ones that don't have the restart feature. Those are the same ones that don't have the overload feature or whatever it's called, overcharge feature, or whatever the fuck it is. If that bitch blows up, they shall feel the wrath of ye whole shades. Wait. That bitch blows up. That man. That bitch blows up, dude. I will call anti-gravity up and be like, yo, look what your shit did with your restart fail safe bullshit. This motherfucker blew up. Look at my car, bro. That's another thing I'm thinking about adding to the back, you know, because I don't have all the interior in the back of the spare tire well and stuff stripped. I am thinking about adding a fire extinguisher back there, a small fire extinguisher, just in case, because I think about that all the fucking time. You know, with the fuel system, the fucking return style fuel system I put in the car, and especially like if you add that anti-gravity battery and shit, anything catches on fire, guys. Do you know how fucking scary that would be? That'd be even more. I'd say to a degree, that's almost just as scary, if not scarier, than being in a flood, because we've already done that. And I'm really not trying to go to the polar opposite of, fire. That's the real meaning of it's fire. Your car's on fire? That's fire. No, dude, that is fire. But yeah, it wouldn't be no trouble just tapping a mounting plate on there and just putting a little, doesn't have to be like some massive fucking fire extinguisher you see in a building that weighs some 20, 30 pounds or something. I mean, it could be, it could be one that's like the size of, like this, like a little guy. Just enough to stop a fire. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would mount it in the trunk. I wouldn't see the appeal of mounting it up in the front somewhere, like in the passenger side footwell or somewhere. Because one, it would look ugly as shit in my opinion. Or two, even if how would I describe it? It'd be just as much effort. Let's say the car catches fire or something like that. You'd have to stop the car and you'd have to turn it off and you'd have to unbuckle your seatbelt and fucking reach over and grab the fire extinguisher, pull the pin out, and wherever the fire is, you'd have to go outside the car. Now, let's say the fire is underneath the hood. You're still gonna have to get out the car. So going to the back of the hatch and getting the fire extinguisher out the back, you could put it in the back. I think in the back would be better. Oh, let's see. Better be prepared for the worst. Although unlikely there would be a fire, there's always going to be a chance it could happen. Yeah, you could have a fire with fucking stock fuel system or a stock battery. But, all the stuff you fuck with, like, adding your own fuel system. I mean, I've been driving the car for months now, guys. There's not been one drop of gas. There hasn't been one drop of gas leaked. Even with the regulator mounted to the rail with that union, that -8 to -8 union, that bitch is still tight as a bitch. You got to think K-series motors vibrate quite a bit. So that means the fuel rail is vibrating. The fucking fuel regulator is still tight. That bitch is great. Knock on wood. What's up, Tommy Lou? How you doing, man? What if your mufflers, what if you muffler starts, or what if the fire starts in the muffler? Is that what you mean? The fire starts in the muffler. How's that going to happen? Do you know how much heat it takes to melt stainless steel to make a fire in an exhaust. I think if that's the case, we're fucked. Your car would have to be running so goddamn lean, just dumping no, it'd have to be running super rich, just dumping fuel. Tommy Lou says, I don't know what happens to cats. I don't have a catalytic converter. And if your catalytic converter catches on fire, it's because it's got so much debris in it. You know, it needs to be replaced. That'd be like a negligence factor, but I don't have a catalytic converter, so that doesn't apply. That shit ain't a muffler catching on fire. That ain't never happening. I'd say your number one fear of your muffler or your exhaust system is it getting ripped off, going over some giant bump or something. And the way the DC5 exhaust system is really strange. It sits very low, even if you have it mounted properly and everything. It sits below the frame rail, which is probably the worst design I've ever seen. I mean, I can understand if it's like, close to the frame rail, but it sits a good 2 inches below the frame rail, easy, which is not optimum, if you want my honest opinion. Tommy Lou says, you ever got bags melted to your mid pipe? No. Why the fuck would there be a bag on my B pipe? Talking going down the road and some asshole litter bugs throwing a plastic grocery bag in the road and it gets stuck on your B pipe. That's a slim chance. I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but I don't think that would happen. Usually when you hit something in the road, like, well, you don't hit a bag, you run over a bag, but even like, let's say like a bucket. I remember this one time when I was a little kid, we were going to Disney World. My pop's driving. It's like 11 o'clock at night. We're on the way to Florida. It's like a 15-hour drive, right? I'm sleeping in the back. I'm half nodded in, half nodded out, barely awake, but mostly asleep. And all of a sudden I hear this it's fucking weird ass noise. And I'm like, oh shit, we probably popped a tire. We didn't pop a tire. He thought we popped a tire. Pull over. Somebody had left a wash bucket in the middle of a road. Like they had thrown a wash bucket or it had fallen off the back of a truck bed or something. Like a plastic, 3-gallon wash bucket. We ran over it and it got wedged in between the chassis, the underside of the car and the road. And it was like stuck on some exhaust hanger or something like that. Like, that's crazy. You think you would just run over something and it would get squished and you would just run over it. But if it gets caught on something, it can, True story. Man, it's sunny as fuck. Man, I got my 8 hours of sleep, almost 8, about 7 hours of sleep. I still feel tired. Let me message this fucko on Facebook. Let's see if he's game for 250. Let's see if he's game for 250, kids. Tommy Lou says, I literally ran over a reindeer in my first car. Yeah, I've hit a deer in the silver one before that got fucking flooded. It's not fun hitting deer. It's pretty crazy hitting a deer, actually. The damage fucking sucks, but like depending on how you hit it, at what speed and if it's like running, if it's stationary in the middle of the road or whatever, it's pretty trippy. I hit one going like 20. I was going like 60, but I slowed down. I probably got down to like 20. My car was slammed. It's like 3 inches lowered. Hit it. Motherfucker was standing still. Motherfucker got launched up in the air like 8 feet and did 2 somersaults, 2 flips, landed on side. And when it hits the ground like 50 feet away, you can hear the ground. You can feel the ground fucking thud. I mean, that thing probably weighs, I don't know, maybe 250, 300 pounds. It's a pretty big deer. And that fucking thing is up in the air, spinning like a gymnast. Thud. Sounded like Thor's fucking hammer hitting the ground. I was like, holy shit. Took my foot off the clutch, stalled the car out because I was so freaked out. When I started the car, and my car was fucked up, you know? Front end of the car was pretty fucked up. Fucking started the car back up. Fucking got no headlights. It's nighttime. It's like 12 o'clock at night. Fucking smashed my headlights. Destroyed them. Fucking start the car back up. My brights worked, but my fucking low beams were busted. Like the bulb from the shock. I don't know why the high beams didn't get busted, but they worked. Fucking started the car up, threw on the brights to see if they worked. They worked. And when I shone the brights, the fucking deer got up and gimped away. How crazy is that? That thing was up in the air 8 feet, spinning around, probably landed on its side and its fucking neck. Got all beat the fuck up and fucking gimped away. That motherfucker probably had internal bleeding. Probably died later. But it gimped away. I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit, you're alive. That's a fucking trip. This guy goes, you firm on price? Pick up from Virginia Beach, $200. I'll pick it up. Let's see what this guy looks like. Let's see if he's a sketchball. I'm curious to know who I'm selling to. It says this guy lives in Chicago, Illinois. You live in Chicago, pick up from Virginia Beach. What the fuck does that mean? He says background. Dude, I always vet whoever I'm going to meet. If they look like a sketcher, I literally will vet them. I'm not even joking. Must have been an old school deer. Tough. Yeah, this guy looks suspect. Yeah, this guy looks. I don't know how I feel about this guy. This guy looks suspect. I'm not having faith in the sale. Jamal says does sound sketchy already. I'm not having faith in the sale. All right, so it looks like his obviously I would think whoever's buying a dual pump hanger is probably going turbo. So he does have a turbo build, Sheepy intercooler, Mishimoto radiator. It's been dyno tuned. That's all fine and dandy. I'm already not wanting to sell it to him because he has a pair of RPF ones. He has a set of RPF ones that are purple on a silver car. Yes, Tommy Lou says sale canceled. I don't know, man. I don't know how, man. Money's money, guys, but like, this is everything I hate about RSX owners. I'm not even lying. The cut bumper, the RPF ones, the fucking ugly fucking PCI side skirts, and the wheels are fucking purple. And the guy's got money for all that shit, but he's trying to fucking fight me over $100. Like, if he was legit, he'd be like, dude, they cost 500 brand new. He's selling for 300, and it's like not even used. Give him the $300. Nah, I'll come pick it up for 200. It says he lives in fucking Chicago. Jamal says cut bumper looks ridiculous. It does. I can't, dude. On some cars, I don't mind it. Right? I don't mind it so much on the old DC4, DC2, DC4s, or certain cars, but on the DC5, I don't fucking like it. Makes the car look fucking cheap. Tommy Lou says track spec, dude. Let me let you in on a little secret, Tommy. Find some motherfucker that's got the same fucking setup as me, K28 full bolt-ons DC5, and let's say he's got the track spec bumper versus my unmodified Type R bumper. I'm gonna fucking beat him. A fucking track spec for a bumper, like you're like, bro, I gotta chop my bumper in half because I don't want the air to drag me. It's not dragging that much. It's not dragging enough to justify making your bumper look fucking ugly as shit for 5% less drag. I don't know. Call me a dreamer, guys. Yeah, he's got money for precision turbo, and I see, like, he's got a turbo setup, and he went with the Skunk 2 Pro Series manifold. If I were going turbo, I'd get the Ultra or K-tuned or something. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. You want to know why I'm not a fan? Let's say not even the setup, right? This right here says it all. You got your engine, you got your mix match fucking Galaxy Gray fucking sprayed engine bay that looks like it's got more fucking orange peel than I've ever seen in my life. You had to write your Instagram handle on your core support, and not like you could have got a sticker made if you really want to rep your shit, like people to follow you on Instagram because you're in a bunch of car shows or something like that. How hard is it to get a sticker made? Like, for real. Like, legit looking sticker, legit font. Put it on there. I got nothing against that. If you want to rep your shit for people to follow you, that's fine. Whatever. But you could spend money on a turbo build, but you can't get a fucking sticker made. Cam says better to do a full flat bottom. That somebody's a smart guy. Thank you, Cam. Wouldn't it be much better to do a full, if you were going track spec time attack, I'm world time attack, brother, I got the fucking record. Look at the bottom of one of those cars. That shit is going to look like fucking one piece flat bottom. We're not talking, bro, I got the fucking splitter in the front, right? Splitter in the front. Dude, a real time attack car, it's going to have every cavity closed up. There's going to be no fucking room for drag because it's a smooth, flat bottom making so much downforce, and there's no drag. Thank you, Cam. Make me feel like I'm taking fucking crazy pills. All these cats chopping their bumper up, putting speed holes and shit in the back of the bumper. Get on the level where you got fucking close up plates and cooling plates to extract heat from the engine bay, like that Beat Rush cooling plate. And you got just essentially just imagine your chassis and just make an aluminum template for everything. One piece. Fucking Zeus fat, like what are they called? Zeus fasteners. Cam says, but you are taking crazy pills, bro. Not anymore, man. It's been years ago. Man, y'all think I'm wild style, man. Y'all should have seen me on my Adderall days, staying up for 3 days, playing 15 hours of guitar a day. Those were the days, man. That was productivity right there. Like, I know this cat, when I used to work at O'Reilly, this cat used to come up there. He had a DC-5. This motherfucker was all fucking tweaked out on some Adderall. This motherfucker had essentially like Mike's setup, but even better. Megaspool. Shout out to Megaspool. Dude, hold on. We'll have to get to that in a second. That's bad news. Speaking of Megaspool. But this cat is a tweaker, man. Young cat, taking a bunch of Adderall, working on fucking DC-5 like a madman. Got the fucking, GT35R turbo set up, 20 pounds of boost. Mike made 578 or 572. This motherfucker's making 600 on the same setup. So that's pretty impressive because Megaspool got tuned by Humble, one of the best. Well, this cat here fucking tuned the car himself. And this motherfucker does his own gear ratios in the box. Like, he's got a custom set of gear ratios. He can get up to 130 in third gear. I cannot believe that. I almost don't believe it, but I guess anything's possible if you're making your own gear ratios, but that's insane. Imagine that, guys. Like 125, 130 miles an hour in third gear. That's nut shit. Oh, but what I was saying about Megaspool, said speaking of Megaspool, bad news. He's selling his DC-5, guys. Any of you guys looking for a 570 horsepower Humble tuned turbo setup? He's selling it for 10 grand. He says he's selling the car to somebody. He says it's a lot of car for 10 grand, and it absolutely is. So any of you guys that are in the market, you got 10 grand, you want a fucking basically 600 horsepower car, you should probably hit up Mike. Jamal says 6-hour drum track, no problem. That's seriously. That used to go down all the time. All the fucking time. Dude, when I go back and listen to those sessions on Adderall, there was some shit happening. And like, honestly, I don't even know what it was. Like, I feel like I was just like an observer. I was just a medium. It was just my body. It was happening, and all this crazy shit that was happening. Guitar tracks and drum tracks. Air Force combat pilots take that shit on missions. Oh, yeah. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they got like their own like special brand of fucking Adderall. No side effects afterwards, no come down. They're like, fuck it. Going crazy, bro. But yeah, this cat, I can't believe he's lowballing me $100. He's got more than enough money to fucking spend to get a fucking dual pump hanger. So I'm kind of like, Cam says bad news about Mike selling up, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, I just can't imagine like wanting to sell that car. That car is fucking built. That car is built well. I said to him, if you want to sell me your Reagan Masters, let me know. Even though they're probably too aggressive offset. Fucking what do you remember what offset he's running? It's like 22 or something. Like I don't even think that would work on my car. with a 60, with an original 60 offset hub going to a 22, because I need to be at like, I think the absolute most I could run without looking like a fucking skateboard is probably 35. Yeah, plus 22. Like, Cam, would that even work on my car? Or would I have to get like probably like extended wheel studs and open-ended fucking lug nuts and shit probably? I think that would look, it'd be too aggressive for mine. For um I think for stock DC5 hubs that are a 45 offset hub, 22 is not too bad. But I think if you have a 60 offset hub, that's going to be, you know, that's going to be, that's quite a step poke outward. That thing's going to look like a skateboard. Yeah, too much poke, exactly. I debate on the 35 though. I mean, 45 would be great, but 35 would be a little bit more poke. But then I worry about, fender liner touch in, all that shit, Go get some more coffee. I'll be right back, guys. And I'm back with the coffee. Jamal says, new fan doesn't squeak like the old one. Indeed, it doesn't. And the funny thing about the new fan is it's not one that's like a flush mount. It has like the little extender pole. And usually those will rock quite a bit. But, I mean, that bitch is pretty fucking sturdy. Only thing I don't like is the fucking ring around it. Like, you guys see the ring around it where all the fucking dirt was underneath it, like the dirt ring. It's the only aesthetic gripe I have, but it'll be all right. I don't really care. Who's looking up there? Yeah. Only way I'm selling this guy is if he's got $300. For real, though. This guy looks suspect. I'll just put it to you this way. His thing, his profile description says Jolly Bee Boys. Doesn't sound good. And with a banner like this for your profile, I don't know, Dave. Suspect. I mean, I don't got a problem with selling as long as somebody doesn't seem suspect, like how to describe it, like dangerous, like you seem like a fucking sketch ball, like the definition of a sketchy person. I don't get that vibe, like somebody that's gonna like meet you and try to rob you or murder you or something like that. It's more of just like we'll hold out until we find somebody else. Especially if you're trying to lowball me. Fuck that. And it just doesn't make sense that your profile says you live in Chicago, Illinois, but you're like, oh, you firm on price? Pick up from VA Beach. Like I might go meet this person that's not even him. Somebody's picking it up for him and I don't know anything about them. That's kind of the inclination I get. I say your profile says you live in Chicago. Jamal says $100 low ball borderline. Yeah, because like the price is factored to the fact that it's a like new product that's never had any miles on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's been in the gas tank, but it's metal. I sprayed it off a fucking parts cleaner. Doesn't smell like gas. I don't even think it was touching the gas, honestly, because the fucker's so high, sits up so high. True story. He says, I'm in the Navy. I'm stationed in NOB in Norfolk. Oh, okay. Gotcha. This is what I said to him. I said, here's what I can do. If you're legit and you actually want to buy it, since you're coming from Virginia Beach, I could do $250 to compensate you for your gas and your travel. I wish I could do $200 for you, but these hangers are close to $500 new, and this one has never been used. I just didn't use it because I got another one in a trade. So we'll see what he says. Old Honda Man VTEC Camber Gang in the house, baby Jesus. Old Honda Man, the king of Facebook links. What's up, man? Let's see what this guy says. Jamal says, peace out. Gonna catch some sleep. Yeah, do your thing, man. It's nice chatting with you as always. Always good to have some live chats, some music chats, some fuckery, some general fuckery. It says it all here, guys. General fuckery. He's seen the message. He has not typed anything back yet. That motherfucker. He's probably like, man, I want it for 200. Sorry, brother, you're not getting it for 200. I mean, dude, from here to the beach is like an hour and a half tops, hour and 40 minutes to certain parts of the beach. You're getting $50 for gas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're getting it for 200 and you're getting $50 for gas and travel. That's pretty fair, wouldn't you say? Because I knocked off, I'm asking 300, so he's getting for 200 and $50. So the $50 is knocked off the 300. It's 250. Man says, that's a good deal. Haha, not much, just fixing on my house. Still got one more week with summer vacation. Nice. How you liking the new house, man? What's up, Mike? How you doing, dude? Yo, you're up early. Been up since 4:30. Fa la la. Mike, when you're on PlayStation, is that your son playing or somebody? I messaged you a couple times on there. One day, and then I think 2 days later, I didn't know if it was you playing. Saw you're playing Fall Guys or some shit. I didn't know if it was you or your son or something. Hanaman says, loving it. Just have to put some work into it. Good bones. Good bones. He says, why the hell are you up already? Laughing my ass off. I have 3 PlayStations. Sometimes it's me, sometimes the kids, sometimes the wife. Gotcha. Well, that would explain it. Because I saw you were on Fall Guys. I was like, hey, man. I think it was it was on Saturday, like 3 o'clock for me. So it would have been 12 o'clock for you. I was like, yeah, you trying to play some poker? No response. But why am I up? Because I tried to go to sleep at 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday and I couldn't sleep. So I stayed up, sleep deprived, power washed the deck, moved a bunch of furniture, and then trucked it through the day until about 10 o'clock. And then I slept from 10 p.m. until 4 a.m. Here I am. True story. I always see your messages way late. That's my bad. Past week or so, I've been really bad about getting back to people. So, you're all good, dude. It's video games, man. It ain't like life. I've just been wanting to steal people's poker chips. True story. I fucking lost 700,000 chips in the past week. And then last night I gained back, I think I'm at like 250. So I've counteracted the 750,000 loss. So we've only lost 500,000. And I'm sure you're like, what? My bankroll's 100,000. I fucked up and went on a 200,000 table and lost that shit in 3 hands. And the fucking first 2 hands I folded. Like didn't buy into them, didn't feel confident in like a 6-2 and a 7-5 or something like that. And then third hand, I'm like, fuck it, this is how we're gonna get them. All in. Went all in. Had 3 kings. A motherfucker had an ace kicker though. I had 1 king in my hand and I had a 10 as a kicker. There was 2 kings. We both had 3 of a kind. He had an ace kicker. Could not be beat. Did not make me happy. Mike says, no, I've been back. I've been bad about literally any life interactions too. This damn cube has me all pissed off. Got the engine swapped to try to start yesterday. Fucking donor engine is locked up. Time to light on fire. I saw that on your Instagram story, like how you thought it was the battery, and then like it's like not cranking over. It's not. It's locked up. Honda Man says, when are you getting some new wheels on the car, Jesus? Man, when $3,000 falls in my lap. Even more than $3,000 when $3,600 falls in my lap. Fucking those Rega Masters, man, they're way too expensive. CE28s are just as expensive. You got to buy a used pair to fucking get your foot in the door at $1,500, $2,000. I'll eventually buy some Rega Masters, but I don't see it happening. That's like, it's not happening before the end of the year. I think goals for the car before the year's up, obviously it's August, so we got September to December, fucking goals for the car. Let's fucking get this new battery, get a legitimate battery, and get the car tuned. Then we got inspection in November. Then that's probably going to wrap up the car for the most part for the year. And then I think goals for next year is definitely the wheels and the suspension, which is big money, dude. Big fucking money. Way too much money. Absurd amounts of money, guys. 3,000. Call it fucking. You might as well call it 4,000. With like, you got 3,000 plus shipping, and then a set of $600 fucking tires. I mean, it's gonna be with the O'Leans and shipping and the wheels and shipping and tires. It's like $6,000 basically. On a Man says, damn, I almost got hold of some lightweight RPF ones, but they got sold 5 minutes before I called the seller. I really want some lighter wheels. Fuck RPF ones, man. Don't do it. Anybody, since the hunt for wheels, don't buy RPF ones, please. I want to stay your friend. What's up, Kev? Sell it. You don't even know what we're talking about, Kev. Sell what? Monkey Wrench says, I feel you spent 900 on I just spent 900 on custom pistons the other day. What brand of pistons did you get? And what fucking what size pistons did you get? Kev says, don't matter, get that money. Fuck it. Kev, we got the perpetual low ballers. And see, this guy fucking saw my message and didn't say nothing back. No, I'm gonna X this box out and he can get fucked. I just want some lightweight 17s. I feel you. I feel your pain. And for the most part, I mean, if you're trying to go as cheap as possible, you can get a set of RPF ones. But it's at the cost of looking like everyone else. I just when I think of RPF ones, I think of like I'm not trying to be mean. Any of you guys that have RPF ones, take it with a grain of salt. I'm just saying it in good fun. If you want to rock RPF ones, fucking go for it, right? But when I think of RPF ones on a DC5 or any Honda, you see them so much, right? It's the same thing with T37s and certain wheels and stuff. But specifically when I see RPF ones, it instantly makes me think of those shirts that say, I'm with stupid. I don't know why. It just makes me think of that. Or like, I don't know, everyone that's got the same coexist bumper sticker or the same don't tread on me license plate frame and shit. That's what it makes me think of. I don't know. But yeah, I mean they are fairly lightweight and they're, you can buy them from Tire Rack. You can buy a set of fucking RPF ones for less than $1,000. Ugh. Hanman says, I don't care. They only going to be used when I do track days. Well, hey man, more power to you. Do what you want. I'm just saying. Speaking from my personal opinion, you don't have to have that same opinion. But that's what it reminds me of. You see so many RPF ones. It's like having the same bumper sticker, the same baseball cap, same pair of shoes. Everybody's got the same shit. It's like Downstar hardware. Mike said custom flying Miata spec Wiseco 9-to-1 pistons. They let me delete the oil squirters and are good for 1,200 at the crank. Ooh. Wait, so you say they let you delete the oil squirters? Like just certain ones or all of them? How the fuck does that work? Break it down for me. Because I know when you do like in Hondas, like when you do the Frank swap, you have to cap off one oil squirter. There's one in particular that you cap off. You have to plug it. Otherwise, you're gonna fuck your shit up. But I don't know. I don't know about Miatas and the setup on those. This man Kev said this one time, me and my friend, we had the same girlfriend. Did y'all Eiffel Tower her? Did y'all high five? They also delete quarter pounds per cylinders. The way the skirting is designed, we can fully remove all the oil squirters. Imagine losing 1 full pound on the rotating. Dude, on moving parts, a pound is like life. It's like they say with like like chassis, like curb weight of cars, like when engineers are trying to make the car as light as possible, like 70 pounds is a fucking big deal. They can get that car 70 pounds lighter. That's a huge deal. On the rotating assembly, on wheels, on moving parts. That's like I say you get a crank. Let's say you got a stock crank, it weighs X amount of pounds, and then you get some fucking racing crank or something like that, and it's 2 pounds lighter, 3 pounds lighter, whatever, however much it is. That's like light years lighter. Let's see. Mike says once I balance the whole setup, easy 9 to 10,000 RPMs. Ooh. And that's a turbo build. That's fucking crazy. Kev says squirters are on the rotating assembly. Aren't those on the block itself? Well, there's passages. I'm lost now. The pistons and the wrist pins themselves are 1/4 pounds lighter per cylinder. Ooh. So that's where you get your pound from. I see what you're saying now. That's wild style. Dude. That would make, like, when you have like lighter moving parts, dude. I can't wait for lighter wheels. Oh, word was about to say. Yeah, in a world where I have infinite amount of money, well, maybe not infinite, but a lot more money, really want to buy a fucking K24 and build that shit on the stand in the garage, and then find a chassis to put it into. The oil squirters just make it so I have way higher and constant oil. Ah, I see. Okay. Because obviously, if you had like oil squirters, it's if you deleted them, you'd be getting higher pressure. I see what you're saying. More sufficient and consistent pressure. Some fancy shit right there. Yeah, that's another thing too. Fucking really kind of want to go down that avenue. See, once I get the car tuned, the car's going to be tuned. There's going to be no point of having the laptop in the car anymore to data log, right? Well, yes and no. Yes to making sure you got good AFR and stuff like that, but I have a wideband gauge. I almost want to get a couple more gauges so I don't have to have the laptop that I know the car is running bulletproof, just for peace of mind. Oil pressure and fuel pressure. Those are two gauges I really, between the AFR, the fuel pressure, and the oil pressure, I think those are the only three gauges I would really need. And I see two ways in my head where I could, configuration of where you put your gauges. Because in the DC5, it's kind of weird. So you got three routes. You can do the ugly fucking pillar pod, which is not happening. So that's not even an option for me, but it technically is an option. You could do that. Fuck that. I already got my AFR gauge in my AC vent on the driver's side. And it's got you still get AC through it, but it's in the AC vent. Fucking, so then your other gauges, let's say you choose three gauges. Let's say you wanted oil pressure, fuel pressure, and ethanol content. I don't know. Just say those are my three gauges I would be interested in. Fucking, you could buy a triple mount gauge holder thing and put it above your climate controls on the dashboard. Basically, have drill 4 little holes for the base plate and run the loom through the middle so you don't even see none of the wiring or anything. Or you could get crafty with it and make it look more sleeper and put the gauges in the climate control knobs. And basically what that would mean is you'd buy another AC climate control little cluster trim piece, and you would relocate your existing one to like the glove box or something like that. And then you would have if you wanted to turn your AC on, you'd open up your glove box and turn it on, obviously. And then where your climate control is, it still looks stock, but where the dials are would have gauges in them, basically. Where are we at? Also, they create a lot of oil turbulence that won't be present anymore, making it a bit easier on the rotating assembly at higher RPM. Think about having the crankshaft blades as well. Kev says just get a tablet to run gauges. But a tablet needs a battery, it needs a power source. I mean, gauges do too, but a tablet just doesn't look good to me. You're absolutely right. You could run a tablet for your AFR. You can't run it for oil pressure or fuel pressure, though. You'd have to have a gauge tapped in to your oil pressure, and you'd have to have the fuel pressure tapped into your fuel system, right? So you can't run a tablet for oil pressure and fuel pressure. The only thing you could run the tablet for off diagnostics, AFR, and your ethanol content sensor through K-Pro. That's it. There's no fuel pressure and there's no oil pressure. He says, I'm with Kev. Why not run a OBD2 scan? Kev says K-Pro doesn't handle those. K-Pro does not handle those, no. You'd have to have a sensor and feed that sensor. Like, let's say you had a sensor and then you just had the piggyback off of it. Like, let's say you bought a fuel pressure gauge kit. It comes with a sensor and the sensor that goes to the gauge. And then, you'd have like the blue wire or whatever color wire that would go into K-Pro if you were trying to input that information into K-Pro. I could do it that way. That's just too much of a headache, and I don't like sending too many signals. I'm not saying you can't, but I don't like sending so many signals and having that piggyback harness have like 7 different fucking wires. Like, I already got the E85 sensor information going into there. So it's totally possible, but guys, I just don't like the idea of having to have a tablet and somewhere to mount it, and you got this fucking screen. It just, the way that would be smart to do that would be like Boosted Boys. Like, they had the Android double din, right? They had their double din stereo that was Android App Store friendly, Google Store, Play Store friendly. And what they did was they routed Hondata Mobile into the fucking double din, so you could click on it, press the lightning bolt. There's your K-Pro. It's your laptop right there. You know what I mean? The problem is, obviously, my Pioneer double din is a fucking turd for that type of thing, and I can't route the program into there. That's problem number 1. More recently, problem number 2, Hondata Mobile doesn't exist anymore. If you want to go to the app store, the Apple fucking store, or the Google Play Store, the app doesn't exist anymore. I repeat, it does not exist anymore. The only way you can still have that app is if you still have it downloaded on your phone. I don't have it downloaded on my new phone, and fucking, if you had an Android double din, like let's say I went and bought an Android, the same one Boosted Boys have, I would have to download it on the new thing, Yeah, you can definitely send those to K-Pro. I know you can. I'm just saying, like, I don't like the idea of having to buy a tablet. If I could get it on the double din, that'd be money. But the fucking app doesn't exist anymore. It's so fucking whack. And not to mention, I'd have to buy another double din. Like, for that kind of money, I'd rather have a standalone gauge. You know what I mean? Like 3 gauges, because then you don't have to have it through double din. Because that's another thing I don't like about K-Pro and the Bluetooth type capability. You have latency with those. I don't know if you guys like use K-Pro. K-Pro definitely has latency. I would say I don't know if it's just because my computer or what, but K-Pro is not a big file. It doesn't take a lot of RAM or graphics processing, so it shouldn't matter. It definitely seems latent by about 5 to 7 milliseconds. I would maybe 10 milliseconds. Where are we at? Where are we at? You can find the APK online. What's the app called? And I'll see if I can find. It's Hondata Mobile. Also, I just got Raspberry Pi 4 for my Miata and a 7-inch touchscreen. Kev says it's in my app store. Also, they have. Yeah, but you on Google Play Store? Or you on an App Store? I would assume you're on Google Play Store. I haven't checked it for a couple weeks, but like a month ago, it was gone. Oh wait, I don't even gotta check it here. Look, okay, so see the little gauge symbol right there, the red, white, yellow, and green. That's Hondata Mobile. So I'll click on it, and this is what I get. Unable to install. This app is no longer available in the App Store. Which is fuck shit. Bro, it's on Hondata's website. Why the fuck isn't it in the App Store then? That's what I'm saying. Like, how stupid is that? What, they lose their App Store deal? How the fuck are you supposed to get it on your phone from the fucking computer? Let's see. Downloads. It's on my iPad Pro. What the fuck? No. See, this is not the same app. This is Hondata. See, it used to be a free app. It used to be a free fucking app. It came free because you spent $800 for K-Pro. They're trying to get $6 for that shit, bro. I will not. I know that sounds crazy, guys. Like, bro, you spent thousands of dollars on your car. It's more, I'm a man of principle. The shit used to be free, and now they're trying to upcharge. I hate Hondata. If I could do it all over again, I would go AEM, Infinity, or Haltech in a fucking heartbeat. And these fools are trying to get $6 more of my money. That is absurd. And the interface doesn't look that great. Like they reworked their shit, right? The fucking interface looks dorky as hell. Like, I like the way it looked before. It almost reminded me of the onboard controls of like the R34 Skyline. You know what I mean? Like how the shit's built into it, and it'd show you your boost and stuff like that. Mike Grinch says, "Fuck the App Store." It's on my iPad Pro. Maybe they deleted and uploaded a different version of the app. That's what they did. They're trying to get money. And yeah, I'm not a big Hondata fan. I have Tuner Studio Ultimate, and I've used my install codes on so many PCs and shit. Oh, I believe it. But dude, it's a thing of principle. This is what the OG app looked like. You know, this one right there, and it ran fine. The Bluetooth stuff worked decent. You know, it still had the latency. That's why I don't, you know, I get what y'all are saying. Like, you know, oh, you could just have it on your double din and it looks sleek and, you know, everything looks stock and all that stuff. Absolutely. But like, this is where my head's at. See if I can find a picture of it. Pretty common thing. See if I can find a picture of it. Maybe. Of course, there's not a picture of it. That'd be too easy. If it's installed on your phone, no, but it's not. See, okay. Um, this is my new phone, right? And I transferred my information from my old phone. My old iPhone was a 16 gigabyte iPhone 5S, super taxed out on space. No space. The operating system takes 9 gigabytes, so you got not even 10 gigs of space. I would have it set up so I would offload my apps to save space, the ones I'm not using, right? So I offloaded Hondata because I'm not really using it that much. When I went to go, I wanted to use it one day. I click on it and it's like, oh, this app's no longer available. That's why I don't have it. I just have the icon and it's offloaded. So fucking stupid. These motherfuckers don't. Wait, is that a picture? Of course they don't got a picture. But nonetheless, like so if you look at this, people do this quite a bit. But here's like the cluster in the RSX, right? And this is in the middle. So what you would do is you would port this out. You take the knob off, take the button out, and you'd port this out for a 52 millimeter gauge, and they'd be uniform sitting there. And you know, they're fucking. It's pretty. Considering you have 3 more gauges in the car, and like I get what you're saying, like you know, oh, it's gonna look like a rocket ship or a fucking airplane or something. Fucking, they look pretty clean, honestly. It looks way fucking cleaner than that A-pillar fucking gauge pod bullshit. That shit looks so fucking whack. And it definitely looks cleaner than unless you're running some like I don't know, some really expensive like Defy gauges or some shit that looks like really nice looking, really clean looking gauges. Doing it on top of the dashboard, I'm kind of against that. So this seems like this would be the kind of like the best bet for like you want to be able to have it in your eyesight, your peripheral vision. You're driving, you know, you can glance over a little bit and read your shit. You know what I mean? Let's see. Kev says delete it, but it pops back up. It's not gonna. Kev, they renovated the app. The app is not the same app anymore. They're trying. It's a money making scheme. Hondata Mobile does not exist anymore. Hondata exists now. It's just called Hondata, and it costs $6. That's what it's about, Kev. I'm telling you, it's been months since that app's been available. The original Hondata Mobile for free fucking app. I removed my center duct in there round and perfect, the same as removing a dial for you. Why not get the 3 across the dash? Why not get the 3 across the dash? That's a great look. Are you talking about what I just showed you? Or are you talking on top of the dash? So only reason I think doing the AC, relocating your climate controls to the glove box, because I don't really use AC that much unless it's summertime. And you either got it on all the time or you got it off all the time, you know? And wiring is like my thing. I don't mind extending some wires. It's not that far of an extension, really. You're gonna be it's gonna be a pain moving how would I describe it? Giving it not really. The harness can stay where it's at. You could just fold it backwards after you make basically it's like almost like, you know, think of like fucking hair extensions or something. You got your loom, chop off your plug, extend the wire by, you know, 3-4 feet, put your plug back on, fold it backwards and fish it through. And it's just got to go the glove box, basically. It's right next to it. It's not too bad. But I like that idea better than on top of the dashboard because on top of the dashboard is like, it'd be better. I think it'd be better for the field of view, but it just doesn't look as clean. Let's see. Yeah, on top, though, I do like the location, the climate control. I'm still on the fence of pulling my blower motor and ducting, never use it. Yeah, I wouldn't want to, in this car, I wouldn't want to get rid of the blower motor and the ducting, and I want to be able to still have heat and AC, because you just never know, man. Especially with heat, like pulling everything, like not just like you got no AC and you still got heat, but like pulling everything. Because like, let's say you're fucking, I don't know, the random occurrence, you're driving in the rain, or it's like really humid outside, and your windshield starts fogging up or some shit. Like, what do you do about that? Monkey Wrench says, "Oh, weird. By the way, YouTube all of a sudden decided to work today. The other day, yeah, it is strange. It seems like notifications are going out pretty well too." Kev says, "I'll never mount anything to my dash." Kev, you need to mount a K20 to your dash. Monkey Wrench says, "I do here in Arizona. Use your heat." Yeah. Fucking hell. Living in Arizona, man. Yeah, you can get rid of that blower motor. It'll be all good. I think you'll be all right. I do have an electric heater for my cars, though, but I'm still tossing it around. I loop all my heater cores, never use my heat. Yeah, Arizona, man, you're really not going to need heat ever. The AC, though, man. Like, what are you going to do about that? Kev says B18 for life, dog. Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. Kev, you heard my video. You were like, that shit sounds so good. You were like, why'd I go B18? But at least you got, Kev, to be fair, at least you got the best, one of two of the best B series. Because you either got, my opinion, if you're going to do a B series, you're going to do the Type R, or you're going to do the Type R. Civic Type R, Integra Type R. Those are your two avenues. It's all about that Type R life, brother. Mike said never had AC. Windows work fine. I mean, Windows for the most part do work fine, but when it's like real hot and you're in stop and go traffic, there ain't no breeze. What the fuck's that breeze? The SRT8 has it for the wife and the kids, but that's the family ride. Yeah, if you have multiple cars, see, that's something I've never had the privilege of having. Oh, bro, I got my daily, I got my fucking race car, I got my fucking hoopty, I got my fucking this, my that. Like, I have one car. That bitch has got AC. That bitch is going to have AC until I get a fucking daily. I think once we get another like, I keep saying project because I know I already know the next car I get, it's gonna be another one of these, man. It's gonna be another money pit. That's why I want to buy like a fucking, I don't know, some car I wouldn't want to work on, like a fucking FG4, FB6, an automatic TSX. You know what I mean? Like, fuck this car. I don't care. Just drive it. Press the gas. Press the brake. That's it. But yeah, once we get another daily, fucking electric, well, I'm still gonna do the electric power steering, but I would just get rid of the AC too. I'd pull the fucking Pull the fucking blower motor, the ducting, fucking everything, man. Fucking get rid of it all. Fucking get rid of the evap, charcoal canister, fucking all of it. Go straight real track spec. Camp says Toyota Corolla. Fuck that. It's not happening. It's either gonna be, it'd either be a Honda or an Acura, or it would be a big boy car. Some fucking, I don't even know. Wish I could find, you know what I wish I could find? Wish I could find a Nova. Wish I could find a Chevelle or an Impala or some old car. That'd be such a fire daily, except for the gas mileage. Yeah, the Miata is a straight up race car. Everything is getting stripped. AE85 easier to get than 86. Fucking man, that'd be awesome. Make the fucking Fujiwara tofu shop car. But see, same thing. I would mod that. Kev says new Camry's dope. I'm not a believer. This man Cam said Prius. Oh fuck no. You know what? If we're going soft boy cars, I'll just get the Tesla. Get the real electric car. This man says vomit yellow Prius C. Nah, guys, you already confirmed it. We're gonna have to get the insane mode. They got that passing button. No, we'll just get the old Elon Musk mobile. Go insane mode. You could add a few hair dryers and make some real jam. Turn up the jet propulsion. Dude, I feel like those, like, that Tesla car, I know this chick that works on them. She's a certified Tesla mechanic. Dude, have you seen the batteries? Like, these electric cars, those batteries, when they go bad, that does not look like fun. Looks like a fucking nightmare. And I like wiring and electrical work, but like that, just look at his face. Not a fan. Looks like some shit I know nothing about. It's like, the fuck is this? But yeah, fucking once I get new battery, get this fucker. I think sometime this week we're getting trained on our we're getting all the fucking tutorial, I guess you'd call it tutorial. Some fucking tech comes out and shows us like how to fucking the ins and out of our new Hunter alignment machine. Once that happens, get the car aligned. Then hopefully by then I'll have the rest of this money saved up for the fucking new battery. And then, yeah, save up the rest of the money for the tune. We'll be good to go. Let's see. Mike says here, good on a full charge, but like anything in life, wait for the later version unless you want to be a part of the test dummy experiments. Motherfucking crash test dummies. Yeah, that's true. I was just kidding, by the way. I wouldn't rock a Tesla. Not unless that shit was free. No, I think the way it would go, now that I think about it, I could still get, like, if I found an EG hatch, I think that would be a good fucking a fucking good daily EK hatch, either one. Because if you think about it, I would drive it stock, right? Just like harnessing that fucking that fucking chi. Just be like, I'm not gonna mod this car yet. Finish off the DC5, like get it to a point where I'm like, I just basically run out of shit to do to it, and then fucking build a K24 on the fucking engine stand in the garage and get the fucking EG or EK ready for fucking K swap. You know what I mean? Then need another daily. Nah, you could still. Nah, fuck that. Fucking EK or EG swapped with a K24. Don't go like ham wild on making it full race car, because if you think about it, it's a K24 in a fucking EG or EK hatch. It's gonna be, that thing's gonna be plenty ripper mode, you know? Man, you could have that shit stock. You could have it fucking mild bolt-ons. You don't even got to go full bolt-ons or like crazy or anything like that, and that fucker would still rip. Oh, I would when they're cheaper. I'd mod that shit, turn the voltage way up. 1.21 gigawatts. Kev says first gen CRV B20 all-wheel drive 5-speed. I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of the CRV. They're all right. Like as far as Hondas go, they're not up on my like. It's not because it's an SUV or anything. Like I don't got anything against like, you know, it's not really an SUV. It's kind of just like a tall ass wagon, basically. Reminds me of a lifted Wago. Monkey Ranch says no B20, no B20, bad B20, J swap. Fucking yeah, that's another point too. The EKs and the EGs, you can get a J swap in that bitch. That'd be a ripper right there. But then I'd see if I went J swap in an EG or EK, I'd want to fucking turbo that bitch. And that's just more money. Because you could literally take a JDM K24, which is basically an 0405 TSX motor, swap into like, I don't know. You could even rock it as is, you know, and just have the motor in there, drop it in and do some tuning, turn some shit off, and then enjoy it. It'd be a decent fucking daily, honestly. The torque is nutty. J36 stroker and a big ass eBay turbo. God. Yeah, the power from a J series though, man, that would be pretty enticing in that little ass hatch. For real though. That shit would be pretty next level. Yeah, I like how this guy was all chatty until I said what, you know, told him how it was. Yo, I'll do it for 250. He's just gonna like ghost me until I'm like, all right, 200. And then he's like, oh, I'll be there in an hour. It's not happening, buddy. Sorry. See, but now you sound like the RPF ones with K swap the world. Just fucking with you for real, J37. No, K swaps are, dude. It's the same thing. But see, I'd say this is the funny thing. I'd say all the show car people and all the fucking, you know, people, they paint the engine bay, they slap on the Downstar hardware, and like, you know, K swaps and anything now, man. Like K-swap, the world doesn't just apply to hatches, to EGs and EKs. We're talking anything. Fucking anything. MR2, Del Sol in the front, Del Sol in the rear, fucking goddamn Honda Beat, fucking Mini Cooper, fucking Honda N600, N400, fucking K-swap and S2000, fucking. It's getting to the point where people are K-swapping fucking in fucking muscle cars. Like, it's fucking crazy. It's everywhere. But yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily it's like it's on the order. I get what you're saying about, like, it's like almost like the RPF1 thing, but that's a set of wheels. You buy a set of wheels, you fucking take off 5 lug nuts, you put 5 lug nuts on, you got wheels. With the K-swap thing, there's a lot of avenues, a lot of different offshoots you could go. You know what I mean? Depending on which one you pick. Is it NA? Is it supercharged? Is it turbo? Is it nitrous build? Whatever. But like, I don't know. I think for cost-effective drop-in motor, you could take a TSX motor and put it in an EG and just not even have to touch anything on it other than loading a base map, and you would have a beast fucking daily driver, like an EG with a K24 in it. Not trying to, soup it up a whole bunch or anything like that. You'd have they would be such an efficient daily driver. It'd be fucking ridiculous. And it's not as cheap as people make it seem. If you're after, yeah, even if you're not making big power, it's gonna cost. Like if you get a TSX motor, get it from the junkyard, $300 to $500. Get it from H Motors, like $800 to $1,200. You're gonna have to buy Hassport mounts. You're gonna have to get a different subframe depending on how you want it to sit further back, or the position of the motor. You're gonna need probably like a fucking better cooling system. You're gonna need a couple odds and ends. It's not as cheap as it seems. It's not like you just buy, oh, I got my TSX motor for $800 and that's it. Like the Hassports cost $400, $500, however much they cost. Then you got to get a fucking K series shifter and cables. You gotta just quite a bit you gotta do, but it's still pretty fucking efficient. Like, you're gonna spend at least $5,000. I'd say $5,000 is gonna get you where you need to go. I think that's pretty cost effective, like estimate. Set aside $5,000 for your swap. It's probably gonna happen, depending on how cheap you go on certain things. But K-swap is the GM 350 Ci of today. Exactly. It used to be LS1s, man. Like everyone LS swapped everything, and some people still do. Oh, I LS1 swapped my Miata. I LS1 swapped this car, right? Like now it's K20s and K24s. Kev says he K-swapped his fridge. I believe it. Miata is a monster with a K-swap, no lie, but it needs a BMW transmission to make any power. Cost around $5,000 just for the swap kit. That's crazy. That makes it not worth it. The fact that the Honda axles link up with so many different hub splines, they're literally the same as the MR2. Yeah, it's just crazy how much like interlinkable shit you can make work. Even the fact that a Frank swap exists, a 2.4 liter block with a K20 2.0 head, and you got to do this, and this, and it works together. Like imagine if Honda would have made a Frank swap. Like I wonder who the first person to think of a Frank swap was. Was it like a Honda engineer that knew his shit? Was it a Honda certified tech? Was it some fucking mad scientist in a garage Like, who was the first guy to make a Frank swap? That's what I would like to know. Who was the first guy to try that shit? I'm not sure. And honestly, 350 wheel horsepower on a Miata is terrifying. The stock engine can make more than that. Yeah, like anything, like even 350 horsepower in a fucking RSX would be more than enough. Unless you're going for some world time attack record or some fucking drag record or something like that. Obviously, people have 500, 600, 700 horsepower RSXs and shit. But if you're driving around the street, 350 horsepower is all you're going to need. Let's see. Oh, Miata hubs and Honda axles work. I figured that out myself. Interesting. Cam says Frank swaps done long. No, H to B, you know, you had LSV tech swaps. You had all kinds of different, like, you know, interminglings and stuff like that, right? I'm talking about Frank swap, though. I'm talking about specifically TSX bottom type S head. That's what I'm talking about. Of course, there was fucking Frank swaps before, but I'm talking about the Frank swap now. The the K20, K24. That's what we're talking about. Been tossing around a rear wheel drive mid engine Miata swap. That'd be pretty gangster. Cam says K Frank. Right, Cam, but people talking in this day and age, like you say, a Frank swap, that's what that means now. It means a K20, K24. Like, imagine someone's like, oh, what engine you're rocking? Frank swap. Oh, nice. K20, K24. No, I'm talking about H to B. Like, people just say H to B swap or, you know, LSV tech or, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? Frank swap is like the term for K20, K24 now. It's like the fucking nomenclature for it. It's the terminology, how it goes now. I mean, you had H to B, you had F to B. Even with the D series, like you had people using different components and shit. Let's see. Mike says first time hearing this. Really? Yeah, but see, you're a Miata guy. Cam says the hint for bigger cubes. The hunt for bigger cubes. Yeah, RB 2530. Yeah, across the board, not just Honda motors. Gallows 12, Gallows 24. Let's see. Mike said, haha, I Mopar swap everything and like J Series because it's Honda's big block. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It is like, you know, it is the big block of Honda. It's the fucking Japanese almost LS1. Oh, Cam, it's funny you missed it. Remember how I went in that PvE server on DayZ and I came across that guy that got mad at me? So we found another server that's PvE, no KOS on site, kill on site. We went around the entire time killing people. pretty fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta upload that clip. These two motherfuckers were fully looted up. I'm talking like they had been working on them characters for a little bit at least. They had tons of shit on them. They were over by the shoreline cooking fish. They'd been fishing and caught fish, and they were cooking fish. And I murked both these fools. They had guns on them galore. It was so funny. And the funniest part was they didn't even have time. I think they were in a party, probably like a PlayStation party chat. So they didn't have time to switch to game chat. And this motherfucker, I had a KA-74, which is not my favorite gun, but it's totally decent. Had a KA-74 and literally fucking shot the first guy a couple times, but he didn't go down because I'm like 60 feet out, open sight, no scope. Shot the first guy a couple times. He starts running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Fucking shoot him. His friend books it the other way down by the shore, pulls out a shotgun. He's trying to shoot me with a shotgun from 60 feet out, not hitting shit. And I fucking killed both of them. It was so funny. Definitely clip worthy. I do really like the J series though. Kind of want to build a crawler with a J swap or a Sandrail thing, maybe a Baja runner. That'd be pretty cool. That's fucked and funny as hell. Dude, that clip is epic. That fucking guy getting mad at me. We went back in that server and the guy, as soon as I got in there, the guy fucking logged. He was probably like, that fucking guy's back. I'm not dying again. Chris Millington, what's good, man? Yeah, Chris Millington. I fucking I thought about you the other day, and I was like, last time you were in here a while ago, old fucking Neutron fucking got into it with you and about the turbo debate or whatever, whatever fucking happened. I don't even remember. Something about turbos and not reliable or reliable and the whole debate. Two people having different opinions and then turn into a piss match, and then him being a crazy motherfucker, fucking deleted you, didn't just time you out, but deleted you off the channel. And I was like, what? So then obviously he's no longer a part of this community. He's a fucking psychopath. And we'll save that for another day. If anybody that doesn't know, message me on Instagram. We'll talk about it in private. But nonetheless, he's not part of this community anymore. So I went through my settings on community, like banned users and unbanned you, because I fucking honestly forgot about it for a while. Chris says, DayZ, you play that shit? I always used to watch gameplay guys that do role playing. Love that. Dude, I have a video where I'm role playing, going around beating up people. You'd probably get a laugh out of it. It's pretty fucking hilarious. Yeah, people thinking they know more. It's all good, bro. I know I get a little hot-headed myself at times. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I noticed. I fucking forgot about it for a while, and then I saw you in you were in the recap chat one day, like it was 2 recaps ago, I think. I saw you commented something. I was like, oh shit, that guy. I was like, oh yeah, I should probably like unadd him or unban him, since Neutron is not even a part of this community anymore. So, shit like that. But yeah, if you like those DayZ videos, man, here's a trinket for you. some funny shit right here. If the motherfucker will load, there you go. Booyah. Chris says, "Oh my fucking god, I have Xbox One S. Can I play with you on that game even though you play on PS4?" No, it's unfortunately DayZ's not cross-platform. They segregated fucking PC only, PS4 only, Xbox only. I think. Hold on. I think DayZ can PS4 and Xbox play together. I don't think they can. Maybe. Yeah, DayZ does not have cross-platform play even in 2020, despite numerous requests for that feature. The development team has not introduced cross-play into it at this rate. It's possible the game will never have the option to play across multiple platforms. Yeah, I didn't think they did. Fuck, that's stupid. They should have made it cross-platform. Yeah, I think it's more like, it would have never been PC and console players. So they were like, oh, well, how about we'll do PC, we'll do Xbox, and we'll do PS4, all segregated servers, basically. He says, I wonder if there's another game similar to DayZ that is cross-platform. There's ones that are similar, but there's not. DayZ is the most advanced, in-depth survival game of that caliber. You know what I mean? You got tons of survival games now. Survival games are actually becoming quite a thing. I mean, you got Ark, you got Stranded Deep, you got fucking The Forest. You got a bunch of survival games, but none of them are truly like DayZ. DayZ is super in depth. I mean, DayZ is a love-hate relationship. It's an amazing game and it's a horrible game at the same time. And it's only a horrible game because of the bugs, Chris says, if only I could find a clean 89 EF hatch and K-swap it. Yeah, clean 89 EF hatch. Good luck with that, brother. Depending on your location. I mean, around here, EF hatch, that's fucking hard to find. Like, let's browse Craigslist just for fun. The Forest is kind of creepy. Oh, the Forest is super creepy, but the problem I have with the Forest, I've played the Forest. I have it. The fucking button layout is garbage. The crafting is garbage, and some of the gameplay mechanics are just garbage. I actually like, you you're on an island with like these creepy cannibals and stuff, and like you could go cave spelunking and all this shit, and super badass. But for example, every game that's ever existed, what is jump on PlayStation? It's X, right? Okay. There you go. X, the bottom button. You're playing X. That's how you jump normally, right? 99% of games. I'd say 99.9% of games, it's X, right? Or you just don't have the jump mechanic in the game. It's not needed, right? On the Forest, it's fucking triangle. So unnatural. You're going from the bottom button to the top button. It's so weird. It doesn't feel real. I'm like, the fuck is this triangle? And most games in 2020, even before 2020, almost all games now have it so you can make custom controls. Let's say you don't like triangle as jump. Oh, well, you can switch it. That's not a thing. I mean, how fucking stupid is that? So the only way I would be able to fix that is if you had, like, I have the Astro controller, but the Astro controller has stick drift and it's garbage, but you can map the buttons. If you can't map buttons for inside the game settings, you could literally map it with the Astro controller, but fuck the Astro controller. I think it's a piece of shit. Yeah, it's only a wet dream. Oh, I see, man. Yeah, I only watched a few hours of gameplay of The Forest. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, it's pretty stupid control setup. Oh, in Norfolk, we got an 89 Honda Civic Si hatchback with a B20 VTEC in it. So it's already been swapped. And this fucking guy only wants $1,500 for it? Are you shitting me? Ah, okay, here we go. We got, so yeah, that's not good. This is a dodgy fucking sale. It's a dodgy fucking ad. 89 Honda Civic hatchback, B20 VTEC, $1,500. Couple hours away. Cons: passenger side body damage. Won't start due to an electrical short. A couple of cigarette burns and a small tear in the driver's seat. I couldn't give a fuck about the driver's seat. I'll get a new driver's seat. The motherfucker won't start due to an electrical issue. And the passenger side has body damage. Where the fuck you gonna get a quarter panel for a motherfucking 89 Civic? You're not. The pros, though, it's an antique SI model, clean interior, Sony radio with USB and aux cable, battery voltage gauge, tons of new parts plus extra parts, built B18 C-Type R head. It says a B20 VTEC. So this shit says built B18C Type R, which would make it a B18C or a B18C5 with Skunk 2 intakes, Skunk 2 cams, and Brian Crower valves. Lowering coilovers with accurate blades. Skunk 2 adjustable camber arms on front end, adjustable rear camber arms. Haven't put on yet. Comes with. Not expensive to get running. Motherfucker, I want to know how the fuck it says 89 Civic Si hatchback B20 VTEC and you got a Type R motor in it that's built. What? Why the fuck wouldn't it say B18 Type R built? Why does it say B20 VTEC? That's what I want to know. Oh, this shit ain't no B18. This shit is so ghetto, it's not even funny. You know what this man did? This man's got a B20 VTEC in it, right? And you know what it is? I would fucking bet money it's a B20 VTEC and he's calling it a B18 that's fully built, right? And it's got Skunk 2 valve training and all this shit. You know what he did? Where he's getting this idea? He's got a fucking Skunk 2 coil pack cover or spark plug cover. And obviously a fucking Thrasher magazine sticker on the valve cover. God damn it. And not to mention, he's getting real creative with his battery tie down. Got a motherfucking belt or a seat belt or whatever the fuck this is. I mean, I don't know, Dave. I'm not having a lot of faith in the integrity of this car. Even for $1,500, it's got to have a quarter panel. And he doesn't even show the damage. See, like, if I had visible damage on the car, like the quarter panel's fucked up, right? I'm gonna take a picture of it to show you because how am I gonna hide that in a sale? Like, yeah, bro, I want to come down and check it out. It says it has passenger side damage. Yeah, it's just a little door ding. Door's a little messed up. And then get there and it's the fucking quarter panel, a crumpled beer can, you know? Like, what'd you think was gonna happen? Oh yeah, that's cool, man. I got a 89 quarter panel just sitting at home. I'll just chop this bitch out and weld that one in. Fuck it. God, damn fucking car ads. People are ridiculous. That's the only 89 around here. That's not even around here. It's 2 hours away, but that's crazy. Let's see. Any parting out a 95 Integra LS? Looks like no. Oh, that's a cherry ride. That's something you don't see every day. Motherfucking 1976 Honda Civic CVCC 5-speed. What? Dude, this bitch is a 1976 and it only have, well, not only, but it has 270,000 miles on it. You gotta think this bitch is a 1976. This bitch has seen some miles, over 250,000 miles on it. Cause I've seen RSXs that have 250,000 miles, 260,000 miles on it. I think the most I've ever seen was a 290. But I mean, for a car that's, I mean, you got to think 1976 to 2000, that would be 34 or no, what, 24 years. So it's a 44-year-old car. Yeah. Dude, that thing looks fucking cool. Dude, that thing looks cherry for a 76, man. Dude. I don't know. Let's see what you guys think. I mean, I'm not a big fan of yellow cars. I'm not gonna lie. Not my favorite color, but I mean, dude, this thing looks pretty fucking clean for a 76. Like honestly, this thing looks pretty fucking clean. Body lines look straight. I don't know why it's called a penguin because it's yellow. If it was black and white, I'd say, that would make sense. But I mean, it looks all there. That's the crazy thing. I mean, the interior, man, this is like old school interior. Steering wheel looks like it's a little faded, but it's not like destroyed or nothing. And the seat, man. Imagine a seat, guys. A fucking 44-year-old fucking seat, right? This bitch outlasted the RSX seats that are not even, they're what, 18 years old? Like, this is some quality. That's some good upholstery for 44 years old. And you got your carbies. You got your, you know, engine could look a little bit cleaner. Some of the stuff looks a little rusty, but I mean, you got to think, guys, 44 years old. I mean, you can only be but so picky. You know what I mean? It doesn't look bad though. I mean, some brackets, couple bolts, strut tower bolts and stuff, a little rusty. Comes with the keys, sets of keys. I gotta admit, I'm not a huge fan of this headliner and these flip down mirrors. They look like swollen and they're white and it looks weird. Why wouldn't they make it black? If it was black, it would look so much cleaner. But yeah. Cam says looks pretty good. How much do you guess? We'll see. We'll see who gets the closest. Chris says, "Hey, stupid question. I installed your spoon rearview mirror. How did you go about getting the OEM glass out of the mirror case? Cover it up. You break it out. You could stick it. They Spoon tells you, oh, stick it on there, but it looks like shit. And I didn't like that. So what I did was took a fucking hammer, smashed all the glass out, cleaned it out, and it's hollow. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get some foam, some cardboard, some glue, some really strong glue, like upholstery glue or Emblem Adhesive Works, 3M Emblem Adhesive Works, and you're basically gonna make a platform for it to sit on for you to glue it to. You know what I mean? You're basically just swapping it out, but you got to build back up some volume since it's hollow. That a rear view mirror is hollow. The glass behind it, that's it. That's all there is. There's nothing else in there. I bought Spoon rear view mirror for my 8th Gen SI and LX, but I can't find any videos on any how-to videos on it. Yeah, there's not going to be any how-to videos because 90% of people just stick it on. They're like, oh, well, that's it. And they just kind of live with the ugly fitment of it. You know, it doesn't look flush. It doesn't look OEM. It looks like you stuck a piece of nicer glass on your existing glass. Cam says 5K. Close, but no cigar. Chris says, yeah, that car isn't my taste, but I respect it for what it is. It's still looking good for its year. Yeah, I can't stick it on the original glass. Would a stiff foam board work as backing on the glass? What you're going to do, you're going to get foam on the bottom layer. You're going to put a shitload of glue in there on the very inside, the hollow part. You're going to put foam down. Then you're going to put cardboard on top of it and put a glue. It's like a sandwich of glue. You're going to put the foam, glue, cardboard, and then depending on how high you got it in there to shape it out, you might have to put like a thinner piece of foam, glue between all the layers. I'll just save you that. But then once you get to the last layer with cardboard, you're gonna put your glass on. You wanna mate it to cardboard basically because cardboard's gonna glue better. I think it would glue better than foam, honestly. Chris says 75K, getting closer. Cam says higher, lower, higher. Cam says 5,900. Closer. Well, Chris was the closest, but you're from your original one of 5K. You're getting closer. Cam says 9K, lower. Playing the high-low game, kids. Red light, green light. Oh, my goodness. Fuck, I'm actually getting tired again. Might need a daytime nap. All right, cool, man. Thanks for the advice. I'll definitely try that method. Yeah, and some people would be worried about like, oh, it's glued to cardboard and foam, like, and the car's like vibrating and shaking and stuff. Like, the mirror will probably pop off. It's never popped off. I've taken my car on bumpy ass roads. I've ripped it, gone 100 miles an hour, fucking car shaking, fucking crazy and stuff, right? Never fallen off. Never even looked like it wanted to budge. Just saying. Cam says 8K then. Chris says 7,800. It's between what y'all said. That's right. $7,900 for that motherfucker. Which seems absurd, but like, You just can't find shit like that. Like 7, it's like basically $8,000 is really not that far fetched for that car. You know what I mean? That's the funniest part. Like you could buy something, you could buy like a newer car that's probably more fuel efficient or faster or whatever. But like that shit's an antique, you know what I mean? That shit's like something you can't find everywhere. 76 CBCC, you can't find that shit hardly anywhere, dude. Where the fuck you gonna find that? That dude can ask. That dude could ask 10 grand if he wanted to. Let's see what the description says. 1976 CVCC 5-speed manual 1.5 liter hatchback. One owner. It's a one owner car. It's the original owner. Engine rebuilt 11,000 miles ago. So the fucking engine's only got 11,000 miles on it, guys. The motherfucker doesn't have. It's got 270 on the chassis, but it's got less than 25,000 miles on it. Way less, 12,000 miles on it. It says new Weber carb. New tires and battery, new upholstery and carpet. Original Honda accessories, roof rack, front and rear bumper guards, center overhead console with clock, sunshade, car cover. Has an electronic ignition that replaced the points. Runs okay, sometimes has a rough idle. Very little surface rust and just a few spots. Have all the maintenance records, all recalls done, original docs and service manual. No AC, have 3 OEM carbs and parts to bring back to factory if the Weber carb is not wanted. Also have many parts from the 1975 and 76 Honda Civic Yellow hatchback that took down to frame, including the lower and top engine, front end parts, steering wheel and column, both side door glass, hatchback with glass, front seats, side windows, front and rear bumpers, trim pieces, engine peripherals, miscellaneous parts and pieces. So if you got all that for $8,000, that's a fucking steal. Like no bullshit. If you get, extra steering wheel, column, fucking glass, fucking front end parts, miscellaneous parts, trim pieces, like, dude, $8,000's a steal. Wow, that's a lot for that car, but yeah, not a lot. Well, factoring in the fact that I just read the description and it comes with extra parts, like tons of extra parts, that's like a fucking steal, dude. I wonder if anyone's K-swapped one of those. I would feel so bad K-swapping it. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, oh man, we're fucking ruining this rare antique CBCC. But do you know how funny it would be to throw a K24 in that bitch? What's up, Kurt? He says, damn, you're still out. That's crazy. Dude, it is crazy because it's been 3.5 hours. No wonder I'm tired. Gabbing on about motherfucking music, cars, life. What if the world was great and it's not? The fuck are you doing, Kimchi? He says, I know I've been at work the whole time. How many kimchis have you made today? But yeah, guys, I guess smoke me a cigarette. We'll probably wrap up shop here because I just realized it has been 3.5 hours, which is fucking absurd. Usually a morning stream's like 45 minutes, maybe. Nah, 3.5 hours. It's a lot of talking. I was wondering why I feel tired. 40,000 so far. 40,000 kimchis. It's a lot of kimchis. How many kombuchas? I gotta go, guys, and thanks again, Shades. I'll have to do my spoon mirror sometime soon later, bro. Yeah, no worries, man. Fucking give that a shot, see how it works for you. But yeah, if you go to like Advance or O'Reilly or somewhere, they have a tube of 3M adhesive, emblem adhesive. That stuff's pretty good. It's basically like contact cement. I guess you could get a tube of contact cement. That would work too. Either or. But yeah, have a good one, Chris. But yeah, that's definitely an odd car you just don't see. And one owner, man. Let's see if there's anything else around looking halfway decent. A fucking 95 Integra RS hatchback for $2,000. Doesn't look that great. Let's see. Yeah, it's looking like about it. Crazy shit, guys. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap up shop here. Go start my day or something. But it was good shooting the shit with you guys. I'll catch y'all later. Y'all have a good day. Be motherfucking y'all.